when it was first explained to me, the idea of the crushing the keys, the fact that you've got them littered across the road, a boulevard of broken keys, I loved it. There was actually talk of melting them on stage, but I don't think we need a furnace here. That's too much stuff.
Absolutely. So, I think HR will have to step in for that.
No, I love it. I love it all. So let's get on with our first matchup, a best of one.
Absolutely. So let's introduce them officially to the stage, FlyQuest. Always a good time to have a team from Australia joining us, of course, having qualified to EWC through the Oceania Quals. And hey, even better, top 8 AM Chengdu. That is a lot of experience behind them.
Exactly, taking them on in this best of one. It is Furia. They are a team of superstars. Should they be in the lower bracket? Well, whether they should or shouldn't, they are, and they'll be hoping to make it through, and it is going to be a long day. If you want to get out of this resurrection bracket, you have to win so much. You have to be on it from the first map, that first shot, that first rotation.
It is non-stop action. That's kind of the name of the game here at the Esports World Cup, and you know what? At the end of the day, there can only be one to survive from resurrection and to make it to there.
I love it. So let's get it on. The first matchup here. This day, as we go through the resurrection bracket, it is Counter-Strike at the EWC. Our first match, Furia versus FlyQuest.
Yes, that is absolutely correct, Amundo. It is Furia, FlyQuest, and a BO1 here that neither one of these teams are going to forget regardless. Now, from that intro ceremony, a couple things I happen to notice there. A, m0NESY seems to be getting a little taller. He was standing pretty close to Snacks there. Snacks is a tall...
Yeah, what's going on? What's the story?
Secondly, GG Hal needs 5 players. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but maybe it is what it is. Veto's up in front of us, though, when it comes down to Furia and FlyQuest.
My favorite time.
Yeah, best of one.
BO1 Veto.
It could be, Inferno, Nuke. One of the two seems like middle ground for these two teams. And yeah, those are the last 2 maps, and Furia decided to take it to Nuke. They played it yesterday.
Yes.
With not too much success.
Didn't go well.
Close game, though.
It's Isai, obviously. A bit complicated. But yeah.
Do you think this is a mind game by FlyQuest to have yellow jerseys playing against the Brazilian team?
Oh, yeah, so
they're actually yellow and green, I think.
Okay, so it's like you don't want to hurt them because you see yourself in them because of the colors, which makes you more amicable, agreeable.
Yes.
He's onto something.
Well, it doesn't look like everyone agrees. I'm not sure if this is all based off of name brand alone, but this is our STC play results. This is what the votes have conjured up, and it looks like the fan favorite might just be Furia.
I am a little bit surprised by how clear that difference is. I would have gone towards Furia, but more in a, I don't know, 60 to 40 matter. Like, this is a pretty clear-cut advantage to Furia on that one. But hey, who can we say the set of people are wrong? It's like, it's not democracy in a sense.
And I can tell you exactly who isn't wrong because those results were from stcplay.com.
There we go.
Yeah, absolutely, Trace. And who would have thought that fans wouldn't be objective, right? I, for one...
Isn't that the concept?
am shocked. So, yeah, I think a new look for Furia, we talked about that. And also, they were talking about trying to get a European coach, right? Which is pretty weird, considering they're going to speak in Portuguese, and then you're going to have someone who doesn't speak Portuguese and be there. But I think this dynamic is better. They have Side, who was their, I think, analyst, stand behind the team. But they did bring in Innershine, who used to be the analyst for FaZe Clan and the coach for Batboom for a little while, and I think Aurora, if I'm not wrong. So I think that's a good middle ground for them, right? So you bring a guy, you have a guy on your coaching staff who has that experience, who's also been with, an in-game leader like Carrigan, and a team as experienced and as tenured as FaZe Clan. So maybe they're on to something there.
And you're going to have to hope that the cooperation with Fallen is going to be fruitful, because throughout the issues that you have had with the art roster, there were a lot of people that were ready to just ship Fallen away with art, just jettison both of them, just build a new. And I was one of the voices that said, no, actually, let's give Fallen an actual real try. Like, give the guy the chance to really decide what was going on.
Signed for Imperial, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I get this guy.
Yeah.
But this is where now you actually have to face the music if you're fallen, right? Because the excuse of having to share your power and being limited in the sort of the autonomy that you have when Art and Gary are here, it's one thing, one that we cannot counter-argue, but now none of that is true anymore. If Furia is to still be limited, play limited Counter-Strike in the next 3 to 6 months, then that's it. I'm out of excuses. I'm going to have to do some sort of cognitive impairment just so I can come up with a new narrative. But I won't have it.
Then we kind of shift where the fingers pointed as well. You know, it was kind of identifiable before Yanko. You know, that the words art have come around, but now what would it turn? You have no idea, right?
No, I mean, now as Maniac pointed out, this is where you finally get an opportunity if you're fallen to do things your way, right? And have capable players around you to hopefully execute that style. And I think it's been more or less the same throughout, right? It's default heavy, it's taking control, right? Mid-rounding and all that stuff, which is, for me, you know, a good style in general. That's the way you need to play if you want to be one of the best teams in the world, right? So I think for that part, it's good, and hopefully they have the players to be able to do that now.
Yeah, and for us, it does look like we are just about ready to get into the game, so those last little bit of fist bumps and high fives are getting in there. Oh, Caserado,
Come on! Come! Hey!
Finally, my goodness. I've been left there hanging before, so I totally get it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your esteemed analysis, per usual. It's very, very... very great.
Thanks. Thanks, Face.
I was gonna say, I'm feeling thankful, but yeah. Otherwise, we are ready to jump into this game. Yeah, no problem, man. I'll be here all week. Check it out, though. FlyQuest v Furia in a best-of-1 on Nuke. Uh-oh. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started indeed, Trace. This is a big day of Counter-Strike. A lot of teams are going to be packing up their suitcase and heading off home very early doors. Best-of-1 resurrection stage. This really spells trouble. Yeah, I can't hear you, Chad. It's okay, we'll work that one out. We'll work that one out. Yeah, try another headset, and I'm going to try and make myself sound like less of a robot as we get ourselves situated. Pistol is starting. I can't, no. All right, you want to just kind of get close and shout into my microphone? I'll just do it. Oh, all right, here we go. Skull with his dual Berettas does deal with Liaz trying to get down the vents, but ramp is the port of call, and Fallen could not have been more prepared for that. Lovely work on the dual Berettas, and Yuri wraps it all up nice and neat and tidy to get us started. I personally can't hear you. Maybe I need to try and twiddle some knobs. Let's assume they can hear you. Let's assume they can hear you. Not currently. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Machine Show. It's good to have you. Chad Burchell, he decided not to show up today. It's pretty weird, considering how much is at stake in this resurrection stage. Furia and FlyQuest, the desk is discussed. They return to Nuke for this one. I'm sure Chad will be telling you all about that, if he just showed up on time. And that is a quick one. Yuri catches Liaz on his excursion outside. That's twice now we've seen Liaz as the opening death for the Aussies. Chipped away at. So they throw this full of smokes, but Dexter, he just tests his luck through main. Comfortable fight for Fallen on Hut. Next side, actually maybe caught a bit of a timing. Yuri's so ready though, and does receive him comfortably. Full investment. Smoke wall, and, well, 3 comfortable frags for Fury. There's yet to see too much threatening from FlyQuest. In fact, grand total of 2 frags across these first 2 rounds. It looks like it's going to stay that way. Alistar, however, does buck the trend with 1 more. Only losing an MP9. Not too shabby. Nice little quad kill.
Hello?
Well, hello.
Am I here?
Finally, someone showed up for work.
I don't know if that was my fault or not.
No, I don't think so.
But I've worked it out.
But you don't sound... Do you sound like a robot to yourself?
I don't sound like anything.
I'm going to twiddle some knobs.
I think we fixed it.
Okay, good.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Just press some buttons and things happen.
Okay.
All right. Sorry for that. I was late. I was running a little bit late. I had to look up the definition because Yanko was talking about the Australians wearing green and gold.
Yeah.
But that's our sporting national colours.
Yes, I mean, I've watched
you and I discussed it. We've been over it. This is a full eco. This is probably the best time for me to come into the room. But I suppose if you're not winning the Force buy, and we've got an MR12,
it already spells trouble.
It is. It is going to be quite difficult, right? In these type of circumstances, we tend to talk about it from the perspective of losing both pistols is condemnation in a scenario like this.
I mean, it just feels crazy that this map could be over, you know, in what, 20 minutes, and you feel like you've kind of not done yourself justice.
Especially with a close best-of-3 they played yesterday against FaZe. I know it was a 2-0, but both maps were relatively close.
Yeah. Oh, bait on the shadow. Good awareness from Vexite as to the angle on Unbreakable.
The secret player, Caserado, could really rumble this when he wants to poke up his head. He's taking a whole bit of contact now, and here he comes.
The bait and the switch, it's Caserado turns them to dust.
All right. We've settled in now. Sorry, everybody. Things are sorted. Things are looking good.
It's all right, we'll shake it off, just like Taylor Swift told us how to.
And all 5 looking to stay alive for Furia, as that is confirmed by Caserado. Handy stuff from the Brazilians, a 3-0 start. And Trace used great for the analysis. I would have gone with astute. Astute analysis from Mathieu and Yanko.
I agree.
All right. Well, the headset's off for Inz. Look, Inz, I just fixed my problems, mate. If you want me to run down there, I can give you a bit of a hand.
Yeah, he had to turn some buttons and some knobs, I think. Yeah. He'll be all right. Would you say Inz is the second best individual in Australia?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Would you say that Inz is the second strongest individual in Australia?
Okay, who? And the first would be
JKS.
I thought you were going to say me.
Oh, sorry, you're the third, dude.
Okay. JKS. All right, yeah. I would say so. I think Inz has shown an awful lot of punch over the last couple of years. He's had to pick up the in-game leadership role when Dexter went over and was in-game leading at Mouse. Inz picked that up, and we're still having moments. I think that he is in the period of his career where having that consistently is necessary for FlyQuest to be competing at the highest of levels. Coming in today, it is a bit of a tough one, right? It's not easy to split it coming out of the break, right? You come out of the break, we're looking at teams in different points in their evolution, also at different points in being ready for the top tier competition. This is the classic, the tissue in the mouse sensor.
I've been there.
He's got to blow a little bit harder, mate, like the N64 cartridges.
He's also going to make sure that his dongle's not on 8,000 hertz.
Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe he needs to just change his dongle to 2 or 4K.
Well, you should be down there doing the technical.
Honestly, the amount of tweaks I've had to get everything rocking and rolling at home.
Well, I guess we can go into a little bit more about the jerseys.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of things on the shield.
Gumtree green.
Gumtree, yeah.
Gumtree green. And Wattle gold.
I'm going to need some help with Wattle.
Wattle is the national, or one of the national. I think we have a couple.
Like the Scottish Thistle.
Potentially.
The Australian Wattle.
Wattle. That's
fun to say.
W-A-T-T-L-E.
Okay.
Wattle.
Yeah, and I've learned that the badge is nice. It's got like the FlyQuest logo.
Yes.
It's got the Wattle.
The Wattle. Is there a kangaroo on there?
I would assume so. Maybe we'll get a camera shot of.
If we get the coat of arms, maybe the FlyQuest coat of arms.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
We need a pack shot of one of the gentlemen on. Furious.
I'll tell you what. One thing I'm back in. Why are you saying panda?
Panther, not panda. Panda.
Oh, skulls with some meditation.
Is it a panther?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not great with
I'm
wild
second
cats.
guessing myself. I think sure it's a panther.
It could be a puma.
Oh, actually, maybe now he's saying that.
Or is it puma?
Let's see, Brazilian big cats.
Or is it a Brazilian cat?
Well, I'd assume so. Oh no, they've got jaguars over there. Oh. Cougars, puma, ocelots.
Oh, is it an ocelot?
No, an ocelot. I'll tell you that much for free.
I thought he was on G2.
Furia panther. I feel like it's a panther. It's called a panther on their website. Okay, we got there.
Mystery soul.
Oh gosh, that was stressful. Okay. I was going to tell you that I am in not a win condition, sorry, but more of a consideration is that Cello is under the weather. In fact,
Skull said it.
Skull said
very sick.
Very sick.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pick your brain as to whether you've ever competed while under the weather and how that affects your game. I mean,
oh, definitely.
I can't imagine having to kind of be at your best when you don't feel your best.
Yeah, look, doing anything ill, I think, you just extrapolate that to now your profession, and most of us call in sick, don't we?
Yeah,
so
right.
having to do that if you're Cello, look, if you're feeling a little bit dulled, I would say most of the time when you're sick, right, especially you got a headache, you're a bit, if you're congested.
Even your decision making's probably, your brain's probably not, at 100%. Your body's fighting whatever it's fighting.
Some type of Well, I don't know. I was going to say virus. Maybe it's not a virus.
I don't know exactly.
I'm not a
It
doctor.
could be malware.
That's Malbs. Malbsware.
Malware. Wow, we are off to a flying start here today.
No, that's these guys on screen right now. The Fly Quest.
Good grief. Can we just start again?
What do you mean?
Like I said, let me just kind of pretend the show's just started.
Okay, well, we're about to go into the first gun round, so this could be perfect.
Perfect.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait until they're almost ready?
Ooh, good question.
Because if you decide to go now...
We could do like a whole desk segment. Everything.
Oh, well,
all right.
But they did an astute desk.
They did a really good desk. Well, we can just repeat
Let's
it.
pick up from there.
Let's pick up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Day 2 of the Esports World Cup. On the left side of the stage, we have FlyQuest of Australia, Alistair, Vexite, Dexter, Inns, and Liaz, an all-Australian cast now representing in their new colours. It is exciting to see them take on Furia. Both teams losing on the first day of play, the desk discussing it. And it looks like we're heading on into our first gun round on this best of 1. Yeah, you heard correctly, best of 1. It is that relentless out here. It's merciless out here. You lose one best of 3, as both teams did. They find themselves here. And Skulls, Queserato, Fallen, Cello, and Yuri of Brazil. We have got 2 national sides. None of that international nonsense, clashing with one of them going home.
And this must be quick, Alex. Inns has bought into a Mac 10, still has 2,400 in the bank balance. Might be a fast top to set the tone straight out Heart SMG.
I like it. It's confident. It's not paid off. Queserato quick to adjust to that. Liaz has managed to find Skulls through the smoke, clear of it from the HE. Vexite in as well. Occupies the top side. Fallen through the smoke with the clear of the HE. Or maybe not even. He still has his. Perhaps just a pot shot. Now he's going to clear through. They plant and exposed his Vexite. Double kill for the AWP. Alistair up in the clutch. One from heaven. Oh, this is nice. Plays the smoke, but Fallen's been playing this game an awful long time. Surely he anticipates it. He's already cleared the corners. He's going to start putting 2 and 2 together. He must be behind him. It's planted for Alistair. They could perhaps assume he slipped Heart. Sneak Squeaker, try and make a flash play. Here he comes. Flash. Frag needs it onto Cello. Fallen can get back onto that bomb. Time-sensitive mission now. They're not defusing. Cello opts for it. Fallen has to hit this shot, and he does so. Juggling rifles goes from AWP to M4. Finishes with the AK. A triple kill from the IGL.
Got a little bit dicey there, didn't it? Fallen. From that main position, an awful lot of impact with the AWP. You see the fast top come in. You think the AWP's going to have a tough time getting involved in that retake scenario. He gets multiple kills. So good work from the Professor. We'll catch this again. Queserato took the initial duel, ends with that aforementioned Mac 10 steaming out of the hut. And yeah, you're right, that is on the clears. Fallen able to get 2 cheeky kills, so great work to make this one possible. And Alistair, I thought maneuvering in towards main, he had made a bit of a play that could catch them off guard. They had isolated and understood that the only position they thought he could be was over towards lobby. But no. All right, well, we get rifles in the hands again of FlyQuest with the AWP for Alistair. In saving his cash money. Util Light, Dexter already gone, and another opening death. This is starting pretty miserably.
Yeah, it's bleak out here.
Got 2 smokes to work with. Man down, a minute on the clock. Serrano up the vents. Vexite. Giving them some information that players still linger towards yard. A flash to facilitate a fight, but Furia, they're just turtling up. They're playing this number advantage very well. FlyQuest are the ones who have to make the move.
It's an angle here. Vexite slips through main. Alistair doesn't catch it, and it's a perfect management from Cello. Taking the AWP down, extending their advantage. HE right on his face as well, actually just off the mark. Avoids the initial damage, but still this
28 seconds left,
very
Alex.
uncomfortable. I mean, Inns has managed to find one. They still can't seem to get past Cello. The 2 of them hunting them down. Liaz elsewhere, but this is the fight. Where's that bomb at? On the back of Vexite, so they had to get past Cello with around 15 seconds. Liaz keeps them pinned top as he gets the bomb down lower. They've only just about bailed themselves out of trouble. Liaz just needs to live. Oh, catches them on the return to the vents. Gets away, dips away, Skulls goes down. It's a Liaz AWP. How have they done that?
What a round that looks so disjointed.
What's that? Wait, 4v5?
So out of sorts.
3v5?
I think Vexite's taking the fight with Cello towards CT spawn at, what, about 28 seconds on the clock, and then the question is, you're bang on, where's the bomb? Well, he's got to head towards ramp. Liaz is fortunate that both individuals are still towards the top side. He's patrolling that rotation towards the vent. If he didn't get the kill on the player that had slipped through in the smoke, it would have been a tough time ahead. And as mentioned, Furia, it felt like they were managing the number advantage situation with poise. But they snatched this one away. FlyQuest, you'll take that. Doesn't look like we have a... Oh, here we go. Inns is still having a couple of issues. We'll keep our mouths shut regarding any of the buy options going forward while they try and take care of this. The future is now, but the wireless doohickeys, they can cause a problem or two. Is it a dongle change? All right, so same mouse issue. Not the way you want to kick off this best of one.
I mean, especially when there's so much at stake. I mean, the last thing you want when you've got just a map that is do or die, must win.
Some technical frustration.
You just don't want to be having these intermittent stop-starts. You've just won a huge round. There's a momentum, like you're just about to be built, and now you're sitting there in your chair, not able to talk, faffing around with cables. I mean, absolute nightmare for Inns here.
Are you happy with how we restarted?
I feel better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate you for entertaining my nonsense.
No worries. Anytime.
Kind of a bob.
Yeah.
It's a bit sploinky.
Let's get me going. Okay, so hold up. We just had a shot there of the
breast. The badge of honor. What did you call it? It was nice. Coat of arms.
Coat of arms.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the coat of FlyQuest?
Most coats have arms, though, don't they?
Well, now I'm going to have to investigate the terminology.
Now I'm
You've
intrigued.
gone and done that, haven't you?
I feel like this is what dubstep would sound like in the Robots universe. Have you ever watched Robots?
Have I ever watched Robots?
Yeah.
Is it a show? Is there a show called Robots?
It's like a, you know, animation to Ghibli. Robot.
What are you doing? Roblox? That's a game.
Oh, maybe it wasn't called Robots. Yeah, it was. The idealistic inventor, this guy.
I can't say I did.
Wow. It won 2 awards, man.
When was this
You
released?
don't remember Rodney Copperbottom?
I don't. Do you remember the trapdoor? That was claymation.
No. Sounds a bit spooky.
It was.
I don't like spooky animation.
But it was for children.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that. I used to get freaked out. I couldn't finish watching Snow White. We had to hide the tape because I'd got...
Which part of Snow White?
I didn't like the witch turning into the scary old lady. There was too much deception. I kept screaming at the TV like Snow White didn't know that she was an evil lady.
Yeah. That was how it goes.
So manipulative and scary.
Well, how did you feel about Hansel and Gretel?
I could handle Hansel and Gretel. Just about.
Bribing the children with sweets.
Yeah, that wasn't okay. Far from okay.
Now I feel we've, teleported.
We've done it again, haven't we?
No, it's okay. It's fine. This is the moment in time. What would you like us to talk about?
Rodney Copperbottom, as I was saying.
But you could pick a topic that's not about something I haven't seen.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Try and include me in this.
Still looking at the IMDb page. I need to move on. How about
Is that their key?
Yeah, that's their key. I picked one up. I held the Mongols key. It's heft.
Who do you think should have the key in every team? Should it be the strongest member or the leader?
No, I'd say probably the most responsible.
The most responsible.
Yeah. I just don't want anyone losing a key. That would probably be really awkward.
Oh, imagine if you lost the key.
Yeah, and then your enemy's like, I'd like your key, please, and then it's the whole thing.
There's the whole key system. I like the idea, but for some reason it is giving me Fifth Element kind of vibes.
I see that. You think like Gary Oldman's going to have a big crate of them shipped in? He was the bad guy. Fifth Element.
Why is he shipping in?
Because he was buying guns. I thought that was the Fifth Element you were talking about.
Was he?
He was the guy who was commanding all the Warthog men.
The Warthog man. Is that
What?
why?
Am I watching a different?
Yeah, no, I just don't know the actor. But I know there's Bruce Willis in there.
Yeah, of course. And Chris Tucker with probably his
Oh
best
yes,
performance.
I love that opera scene.
Yes.
That was great.
Back when I wanted to be a video editor, that was like my aspiration.
Okay, that was a great scene.
I did a dubstep video montage of Fifth Element, and the opera scene was where the big drop came in. That's a fun fact for you. And they actually had someone perform that. It was supposed to be like an impossible
task,
operatic
yes.
performance.
No, I think we spoke about
But
it
there was,
before.
I think we might have.
Yeah. Multi-pass.
Wow. But yeah, it was impressive. She actually did it.
Multi-pass.
Multi-pass. Oh wait, what about like We've got some younger viewers watching. They probably haven't seen this.
If you haven't seen Fifth Element, I would recommend
It still
that you
holds up.
probably
I think
do.
I watched it recently.
For sure.
So
What's it rated so we can send it to the not, like, is it PG? Is it MA15?
Probably a 50.
Just an M?
I reckon. I think there's a bit of nudity.
Oh, okay.
What about Bluey? You been watching much Bluey?
No, I can't say I've really been tuning into Bluey.
No?
It's not aimed at my demographic,
What
I
about
would
Miss
imagine.
Rachel?
Miss Rachel?
Yeah.
Is that, she's the one on the YouTubes for the
Yeah,
children.
all the dads are telling me about it.
Okay. Well, my sister has a kid and one on the way. I might have to ask her. Actually, I think she's doing that weird thing where they don't give
No
the
screen?
kid any technology.
None at all.
Well, I
How are
think
they
when
gonna
she
be
goes over
really
me
sports
mum's
stars?
house,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know, it might be a little bit of cheeky telly time.
Yeah.
Not the Teletubbies. All right, well, as you can see, Inz has given things a bit of a crack. We'll see if he can get things sorted. Winner of this place, winner of Sashi Gigi Hao.
Gigi Hao.
And later on, we're going to be doing M80 versus Complexity. And there'll be the Mongols versus MIBR.
What's your, like, I know this is like such an annoying question to be asked, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway.
Okay.
What is your prediction for who survives the resurrection stage, looking at the team list of this first round? Like, I'll even take a top 2.
See, this is the thing. If I wasn't looking at the way the bracket was, I would be saying the Mongols and Complexity, but they're on the same half of the bracket, so that becomes a bit of a conundrum, doesn't it? So I think I would probably lead with... I want to lead with Complexity.
Yeah?
Complexity.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, things look sorted. I can see the freeze time ticking on down, and we can get back underway. Headsets are on, so we can talk about what the buys after that crazy FlyQuest out of nowhere round. Their first on the board has resulted in a Galil for Inns. The rest have AK-47s. Oh, he's gone with the Deagles, so prioritizing utility is Inns. They have the AWP for Alistair that was scooped up from Liaz as part of that little stop-top rotation. But Furia have no qualms with the buy. 3 towards A to kick things off. Smoke wall already deployed. Dexter, the leader, looking to scurry. Oh, they're going to use this to try and pivot. Cheeky looking to take a duel outside his Dexter. Not using it to drop straight under, but it has forced that rotation of Yuri. He's had to acknowledge the problem.
He's got util. Is he going to just kind of spot, or is he looking to fight? Opts for a very potent off angle. Now slipping back towards the staircase. You'll get there in time.
Queserado as well, so big problems for FlyQuest.
Oh, this is going to be really uncomfortable. He's actually moving back into the fight and controls the spray for 3. Disaster strikes for FlyQuest. 1, okay. 2, bad. 3, unforgivable. 1 man and 1 mag.
When you're in that position as FlyQuest were, you're not expecting a CT to be transitionally aggressive like that. You're procedurally just clearing out the corners, because a lot of the time they'll be jump spotting for the double doors or the single door, just playing for that information. But because Queserado had rotated down and they were hoping to get a little bit of information, they wanted to try and clear that out and take a bit of a fight. So for FlyQuest, multiple members with utility. You saw Vexite literally had a full bag. Right, they're sitting there waiting to clear these angles, and as they do that, they just get pushed.
So you suspect that was more in pursuit of info as opposed to kind of, because you could see Yuri initially held that kind of off angle, started transitioning back, Queserado descended, and then started moving back towards it, and he just kind of a happy accident that 3 players were jiggling.
Because Queserado rotated lower, right? I think the fact that they were willing to throw 2 bodies down there is telling me they wanted to take some of that space back. And with how the last round played, FlyQuest as well, after losing the opening pick, they just sat pretty static. They didn't have a lot of utility to kick up a fuss, and the round somehow worked out. And if you're Fury, you're thinking, well, maybe they're just playing musical statues for the start of this round again. The smoke ball, what does it actually mean? If it's just 1 player, we go 1 for 1, we get the info, we have it back. The smoke ball means nothing, but instead, Yuri lines up 3 and secures the 5th round for Furia. That is a fantastic way to bounce back.
Yeah, really strong stuff from Yuri.
Well, it feels like pretty smooth sailing, doesn't it, for Furia? No dramas whatsoever. And, 2 weeks worth of practice. They've been in Maltas. They've been playing European Counter-Strike. Skulls within the team. The map pool is something that is being discussed with teams with newer rosters, right? The fact that it's going to be a little bit more limited. The fact that it's a best of 1 could favor Furia in this environment.
I'm almost regretting not mentioning it sooner, but yeah, no better place to start a best of 1 than CT side Nuke in terms of finding your comfort. Your comms are crispy. You've been 2 weeks in the boot camp. Everything's just kind of, you know, you're following that same flow chart you're used to.
Maybe better say Overpass was in the mix.
Right.
But highlighted here by our Obs team. Inns has found Skulls transitioning towards that top site. So FlyQuest, they have the favor of an opening frag. Can they convert? Smoke looks like it's just missed the mark there towards Yard. So a few problems as Fallen's AWP lying in wait.
Oh, Fallen actually lets that one go. Thought he'd connect onto the shoulder. Yuri caught outside. Inz has already been doing some nice work as well, so it's all falling into place. Unless Cello finds himself too. Inz and Liaz with no trade potential. Cello's going to be actively supported by Fallen. Does go down. That CT smoke gives him something to play around. He can slip into hut now. Vexite can't find him. Good awareness from Ali as to the possibility. And he's going to spot his toes with that Mach 10 and controls it nicely. We'll find the upgrade. And they'll get themselves their second round on the board. And Inz with some heavy contributions there as well off screen.
Well, what is that? Their first opening kill within 6 rounds of play. So that's huge. We'll make that 7 rounds of play. He's able to grab 2, both in very similar positions. So really good work from Inz. It still looked like it could have gone wrong after that Cello double, but Alistair, AWP rings true, and again, the back and forth. FlyQuest need 1 more of these. They can break the finances of Furia.
That's aggressive from Yuri. That is almost disrespectful. Straight to Dexter. Takes him down. They were not liking the way that felt. When they
Bombs down here.
We'll have to retake, despite this heavy discrepancy for FlyQuest. Getting that bomb down, establishing a post plant. There could be a bit of a round left to take shape here. Alistair's so disconnected right now. He's going to perhaps be able to catch Yuri on his descent. As, ooh, yeah, now he's at noted. They know there's only 2 possibly holding the site. They can just crunch. Need Inz to come up big with a multi here. They bide their time for the 3rd prong. Skulls joins the pack. Fallen starts to probe. Investigating his angles. It's not clean from Inz. He's in trouble now. Supported by Vexite. Good for the first. Inz on dark.
I don't see a kid, Alex.
Yeah, they're running light on time here. They need to be on the bomb now. Fallen and K-Serato hit their shots. They need to be defusing. I don't know if they've even got time.
They got to get out of there. Alistair's going to win a 1-on-3 just by staying alive. No chance to defuse. Alistair's gone and done it. Grabbed another kill. And the type of rounds that FlyQuest are getting away with, you'll take them. You'll take them every day of the week.
Yeah, just a little delayed there on their approach towards the site. I think perhaps just wanting to do it as diligently as possible, waiting for the 3rd prong.
I am surprised. Once Alistair was noted Yard, we didn't see an acceleration towards lower, knowing, as you highlighted, that there was only 2 bodies to deal with. Again, the opening kills go against them. Yuri and Skulls making light work of Dexter and Liaz, respectively. Vexite able to ward them off for a moment. At this point, the bomb has just gone past halfway ticked. But no kid. Didn't manage that one very well, Furia, at all.
Yeah, look what it's done to them as well. Gone out with a couple of rifles. Sure, Yuri's put it to good use, but Dexter, he's on the warpath. He will run him down. Levels it out. Accelerating now. Fallen. Just a P250 to his name. K-Serato goes looking for trouble, and he finds it. Dexter takes him down for a 2nd kill. It looks like he could be farming here, but player above him.
Well, those are the 2 most important kills of the round, right? Those are the guns removed. Should be able to putt this one in. Or so you'd think.
So you would think, but we've seen FlyQuest trip over their shoelaces on occasion. And it doesn't look like today it's going to be one of those days. Fallen's been noted. Jig is up. Trying to fake the drop down. We would have heard a crunch.
Hello.
Dexter's not buying it.
Might want to reload. Could be on for the ace. They've been able to pick up one of those rifles. Skulls, no armor. Oh, that reload hasn't come through. Has to pull out the Glock. Still really taking their time. So FlyQuest wanting to avoid as many risks as possible. Alistair will grab that kill on the Cello. Now it's just Skulls. He should be traded immediately. Good stuff. As it's just a 1-round game. FlyQuest working their way back in. You'll take these opportunities. And they need to discuss within the narrative of this 1 best-of-1. You win this, well, you go on, you play another. All you need to do is win 3 best-of-1s in a row. Sounds pretty straightforward.
It certainly does when you put it like that. You see the caliber of teams already down here, though. It does get scary.
Looks like there might be omissions in the buy again for Fury, who have decided to take their first tactical timeout, get the newly appointed coach on the mic. Heard Yanko talking about that dynamic. Have to see how that evolves over time of this new Furia roster, with the analysts being of the European variety. Giving it to the coach, be able to speak the native tongue. There is a kit invested for K-Serato, so okay, they've made sure they've at least got one of those in play. Util, sure, smokes are plenty. Missing one incendiary in the hands of Fallen. Couple of HEs and flashes just missing, but we are back underway with round number 10. Is there going to be a pace change from FlyQuest, or do they want to just keep things slow and steady? They're the ones who are starting to put themselves in that driver's seat. Very lobby-centric round this time. Just a little bit of a taste towards Yard with a handful of smokes. Going to continue to force this rotation of Furia. See how passive Dexter is. So if there was that Yuri aggression that we had seen so far in this half, they would have an awful lot of information, but FlyQuest more than happy to just sit back and wait in a lot of these rounds. Allow Furia to potentially overstep the mark. Dexter looks like he's looking for a smoke.
Cello looks like he's looking for some info. Got Fallen in support of him on ramp. Reach that 60-second mark. 20 seconds before the commit becomes necessary.
Cello still has a smoke to block, Alex.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Pushing.
Going in drive, Fallen the bait, and Cello should be able to get away. Ramp is lost, but we've got 40 seconds for FlyQuest to piece this one together, and for Furia to try and work out where that commit is coming in. Dexter's patience is rewarded. Queserato lackadaisical around towards main. And now the top side vulnerable. Dexter knows it. There is a rotation from Skulls. He gets himself towards heaven. Needs to isolate Liaz and does so very proficiently. Molly forces a choice out of him. Yuri and into the crosshairs of Dexter.
Should be a save. Get out of there, Cello and Skulls. You can't really justify going for this. I know it's just one man the difference, but the bomb's down. You don't really have any real estate to work with. You're asking yourself, where is Queserado's kit? But if Skulls finds this, maybe, just maybe, a conversation changes. But Dexter just rotting the clock, just staying alive, not committing to the fight. Which feels like a bit of a pacifist right now.
Yeah, lovely not seeing like an overcommitment there. They put the pressure on towards ramp. Dexter had that opportunity. And staying composed under some time pressure.
It does look like they're trying to let the opening stages of the round go down, so avoid any of this aggression early. And then once the round trickles forward, think that they're going to over-rotate on some of these contacts, and then you can just worm into that gap, which has worked in a couple of occasions. Skulls will grab a kill on the way out the door, and it will just be Alistair staying alive, but we've tied things up 5-5. Money now in the favor of FlyQuest. Save rifles for Furia. Loss bonus has built, so they can even start dropping some across.
Perfect crosshair placement from Dexter, and this one really sealed the deal.
Didn't have to move, did he? Just letting the kills come to him.
Very effective. This is a huge recovery now from FlyQuest. I mean, they're feeling themselves. Smiles starting to come back on the faces. Mice working, you know, everything you need. Everything aligned. And actually interesting to take a tactical timeout when you feel the momentum is in your favor. Is that more of just a discussion as to what your opponent's going to be having to work with? There is a couple of omissions, I suppose, or...
Well, just having, I suppose that you may as well use them, right? I understand that things are going quite well, but at this point, if you take one before the tail end of the half, you win this, and you're able to wipe the board, even with the max loss bonus going into the last round, you're going to have them right where you want them, and you might be able to even get 7 on the T-half. So I don't mind the fact that Urcast has taken this, even if it just gives them a couple of extra seconds to discuss through what approach they were still going to go with, but they're in a really good position to win out this half, FlyQuest, or at least tie it up at 6-6 if they grab one of the next two.
Wow, there's so many smokes in the sky. Full smoke wall erected, and Inns just takes the head off of Cello. He was feeling aggressive, feeling frisky, put straight down.
That's only their second opening kill of the game, and they have 5 rounds on the board.
And at this time, you know, at this stage in the game, to be given that gift, now it's just a question of finding the finish. And they've got no rush, no hurry. Controlling the lobby crunch. Skull's forward position with his SMG, so Hut is always going to be a threat. He positions himself for the mollies.
Oh, that molly spills over the top of the Hut. Skulls having to back off from that angle, but still, they're just being annoying to Furia, aren't they? Keeping them guessing. Yuri, is he going to be able to make a difference? Because we can see the pivot back in towards his domain. He's actually floating away from this. 45 seconds on the clock and the same old FlyQuest.
Dexter's got a lot of ground here. And he continues to sell top. 3 players distracted like a moth to the flame. As Ali slips past, Inns keeps them on their toes.
Just needs to stop the vent rotation. That's all Inns needs to do right now.
Penny's going to drop now, surely. It's still quiet. Fallen confirms it with a frag. Nice find onto Vexite, a second as well from Fallen. Inns wrapping around. Oh, and a third is the component he didn't overlook. Oh, he did overlook Yuri towards the top side. They have got a chance to plant. We need to be getting that down. Can Dexter and Ali do anything in a 2v4? It's a good weapon for the job. Ali would have to hit some stunning shots. Dexter keeps the vent rotate on lock. A good burst from the AWP. Exposed, but still hits it. Takes down Yuri. A 2 versus 2. Time in their favor now. FlyQuest just have to hold their angles. The shadow betrays him. Keserato down as well. Ali's AWP is farming. 1 to go for this 6th. Can he hold his nerve? Closing the gap. Under pressure. Tech9 could work. It's not enough. Skulls has done it. A valiant attempt from Alistair, but it will be Furia bucking the trend.
Oh, Alistair can have those flares of brilliance, right? It looked like that was about to be one of them. Down to the wire again, and in both cases, you can see there's 6 seconds left on the clock as they're starting to plant that bomb. It looked like FlyQuest had outmaneuvered them, fallen this time with the double from the ramp position. And then Alistair almost makes the magic happen. The second shot, you can see him, he overextends a little bit. Still able to flick into it. Shadow helps him here to secure the third, and all he had to do was delay just that little bit longer. You can see you're mildly frustrated with that, but the finances, they're not looking fantastic for FlyQuest for the final round of the half. Tech9, Mac 10, and maybe this will be where we see that pace change.
Yeah, he's got the Mac 10 and he's just going. Nade right to the face, well placed. Jumps straight into Keserato for the double. He's got another to reposition. Liaz just lost him. And that's Keserato. I haven't said his name too much in this first half, so that's his contribution. A round-defining triple.
Furia, it looks like they were the ones who are going to be walking away with maybe, just maybe, securing 6-6 at the half. But FlyQuest, the last 2 rounds, falling by the wayside. One slow as you like, one quick and in your face. Unless we can see a 2v4 take shape.
Clean. Yuri locking it down. Oh, just a little opportunity here for Inns. Yuri may overlook it. He's exposed for a freebie. Inns has the bomb on his back as a 1 versus 4 becomes a 1 versus 3. Fallen's already rotated through. Inns, he's so aware. Baits the AWP shot and gets across. He's making this look more and more doable. That was his opportunity to try and isolate this AWP duel. Fallen puts his head in the vice. Inns will clamp it shut. Fake plant. Anticipates an early rotation from the vent. Safe now from the ramp on his reposition. Beautiful flash. The team play is there. Cello wraps it up. And it's a 7-5 half.
Honor 200 series. The best portrait phone, AI empowered. Studio level, AI portrait camera. 3 hardcore portrait modes. Color, vibrant and classic to capture portraits that truly stand out. AI empowered magic portal. Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 AI chipset. 5,200 milliampere per hours silicon carbon battery, 100 watt. Honor Supercharge. This is Honor 200 series.
Resurrection Day, this last chance for these teams to survive here in Riyadh. The Esports World Cup continues. I'm Machine, I'm joined by Chad Sponge Birchall as we've got Australia taking on Brazil. Both teams falling short day one, and now we're into our second half of Nuke. It did look, for a while, like Fury were going to make this a quick day in the office, just an open and shut case, but FlyQuest, they found some tenacity and refused to go down quietly with a competitive half.
And a couple of other moments that I feel could have gone their way. So FlyQuest only walking away with 5.5, but as you mentioned, it felt like it was a recovered 5, and makes sense as we're in the resurrection bracket, about to get things back underway. And Furia, they played Nuke yesterday, so did FlyQuest, but Furia's pistol, if you're FlyQuest, you're looking at the new roster, you're going to watch the demo. Well, what they did to open their T-side pistol yesterday was they molly top hard, and then they went for this late explode towards the A side. This time it's got a bit more utility. Oh, and it looks similar. So this is it. FlyQuest, do you fall into the trap? An extra layer of nades. Now they come.
Popping top, lots of pressure onto the defense side. Got to be swiveling around. The flashbangs are good, and score the frags. Look at that. Skulls, Cello, and Queserato in unison finding the top side defense. Oh, wow, that's actually a gift. Ali, by knocking off Fallen's head, it will at least delay, give us something to talk about. As the bomb repositions, 3 hidden out behind that A-side silo.
Feels so unwinnable.
It does, especially in the absence of a kit. Liaz disconnected. Doesn't even look like they're particularly interested in going for more than just Ali. Oh, a nice clear. Now Liaz will activate. Could they really turn this around? The flash, there's no swing off of that. Fury a bit cagey now. Ali, 7 bullets. He needs to pop 3 heads. Worried about Hut. They are all here. Another clean one from Ali. Has he got anything more in the chamber? A very valiant attempt from Alistair. Looking like the star of the FlyQuest show. But both times, he's gotten close, but not quite enough to convert the round.
And again, we return to the conversation about losing both pistols in an MR12 environment. Elimination.
Best of 1 elimination.
Precisely, right? In the best of 3, you lose both pistols. We can paint that up to the map, right? Okay, yeah, but we move into the next. Well, there's no next map. And in the first half, they even opted to force by going into the second round, losing that. So it was able to be a 4-0 start for Furia. It will be a full eco this time round for FlyQuest, so Furia. They're on debut yesterday with Skulls in the roster.
This is a cool way to play your anti-eco, isn't it? You just do this main smoke, means that you can go and just take long-range duels with your rifles.
Yeah, your biggest concern is if they buy a scout, right, as part of their city side force buy. But this is where you weigh up the options. Okay, are they even going to force buy in, knowing that, as we were just discussing, the rounds are quickly getting past them. If they force buy, they lose. At that point, we're talking about a 10-5 game.
Wow, that's crazy.
How does he win that one?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, he's about to go down anyway. There you have it. Fallen will not make the same mistake that Skulls did. And the cleanup crew, Isle topside, Yuri flies up the ladder, gets himself up to 17 kills. Great to see Yuri with some big contributions.
Glass cannon. Okie dokie. A lot of faith in the Alistair Orp as he's going to be pulling it out here round 15. I mean, understandable. You're in a bit of a hole here. Both pistols, as Chad has highlighted, it has put them onto elimination door.
I see Vaxide having to offer utility as well. So he's got the MP9. He's going to be defending over towards that top side with Dexter. Leo's over towards Ram. Inns is your outside rifler, and the glass cannon of Ali that you highlighted, having to do an awful lot of work in rotation. It's not the first rotation anymore, as OJ highlighted, but oh, that is miserable.
It could be very frustrating day for Inns here. Stand through the smoke.
They have to level things up.
10 seconds into the round.
Well, he had his fair share of getting kills through squeaky doors, so Queserado wanted to let him know how it feels.
They're chilling now. Just going to hang out. Dexter will take the upgrade. Returning to Yard. Whether or not this is deception or commitment, we'll find out. Ooh, a little bit of info, missed shot. That's not, though. Dexter finds the head of Cello through the smoke. 4v4. Yuri, audible. On the weapon pickup, Dexter's trying to catch the timing. Dexter's trying to catch the timing, but caught out. Yuri just has the eyes of a hawk.
I wonder what he saw there in the smoke.
I'm very interested. See if we can see that again, perhaps in the replay. I think it might have just been a flash of Dexter's barrel. On the edge, Alistair's hitting shots. Not the second. Queserato too quick. It's the Queserato 4. He started onto Inns. He closes with a double. Comfortable work from Brazil's finest.
And Alistair, he's actually had some moments of just about. Within these little streaks, he's had some flashy kills, but at the moment it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. Furia with a 5-round lead. Here was the opener. Inns, what are you meant to do? And then Dexter probably feeling that same way over towards Yard. Queserado literally just waltzed in towards the top side. Didn't have any issues because, well, they knew when Dexter went down outside that he's traditionally one of those top holders, so exploited the gap perfectly. Did Furia, just 3 rounds away. And another factor today, I understand it may only be 3 maps if you go all the way. That's just the best of 3 if it went the distance. Here we go, lobby push. Are they going to catch anything? No, Queserado and Yuri get light work of that push. But also limit the games, right? Make sure that you don't have to expend too much, don't go into these overtime, stay away from the stress. Bowl your opponent over, use that momentum. There's only 1 spot available, 8 teams. Sashi versus GG How currently going on.
How is that going on?
It's on Ancient. Obviously, this is the first map we are seeing from GG How due to how the format starts things off. And Sashi, yesterday, they were hooting and hollering against Mouse. They were able to push things to 3 maps, I do believe. But I think Sashi are the clear favorite in that game.
Damn, Osamas is still putting in work, though. These rather unknown entities to the Tier 1 circuit.
He also add 1 to the tally, but should be dealt with in a moment's time, that P250. And these cores have met several times. We had a few meetings back at EPL Season 18. This is when they would have been known as Greyhound as opposed to FlyQuest that they are today, and they haven't taken a map as far as you comparing cores. I think it's 5 maps played and everything going in the way of Furia.
Yeah, historically very difficult matchup for FlyQuest. And what are the contributing factors for, teams that can, for example, get very close against a FaZe but can't seem to get past a Furia? How does that happen in Transpire?
I think if we have a broader conversation, there's a few things that, we could really start honing in on. But I think if we just go for isolation on FaZe, they can sometimes be a bit of a slow starter, right? So first, for a lot of these teams, and it is surprising that we didn't get any upsets yesterday, unless you want to consider the Mongols lost to G2 as an upset, which I'd be happy to have that conversation with people. But I think when you start to look at some of those details, first event out of the break, again, I was talking to Rops throughout the media day. He's really not a fan of CS2 and the format and everything with that at the moment. But anyway, we might only have a few more rounds left here as Cello can opens that top side. Vexite gone.
That's a highly favored duel for Vexite as well, but Cello just so quick to the angle. Bit of a jump scare. Vexite barely had his boots on the ground before he was escorted off the premises.
Just not enough opening kills for FlyQuest, and it's easier to be critical of that on the CT side, and, well, we're into the gun rounds now, right? So it was the T side. Inns managed to pick up 3. That was it, and they still walked away with 5 rounds.
Back in the day, Furia wouldn't even throw smokes outside. Now we have got...
Is it complete?
An entire smoke wall.
Holy moly.
I mean, they were still winning Nuke without them. So, I mean, you add that to the game plan. You've got a very scary squad on this map. Actually going for bit of a secret descent. Bomb on the back of Fallen, though. So is this just going to be a bit of a fake-a-rooney?
Yeah, they could apply pressure towards lower and then try and pop back up the vent. They could split through ramp. They could probe outdoor, and then if they take too much friction, see if they can go down that fireman pole. He has position noted. Great grenade to tie things up 4v4, and ends on a big flank.
This could be huge. He's going to be able to say there's only one here.
Or will he?
Or will he? Oh, you don't consider vent, do you?
Pull the toes.
Info top, get scared top. Molly's perfect, forces Dexter out the angle. Can Alistair step up to keep FlyQuest's dreams of extending play here? Down to half health, lots to do. Too easy for Queserato. Yuri finds another as well. And Inns completely disconnected. Just enough time to be getting that bomb down. Furia, they look very nice on this T side.
How frustrated are you if you're Alistair in that situation? The fact that Molotov and Flash is coming in so late in the piece, now they know where Inns is, they want to rip this gun away, and Furia just 1 kill away from 12. There you have it. One more round for the Brazilians.
Yeah, it's looking comfortable, and this is elimination point for FlyQuest, a whole lot of them. 7 required in consecutive fashion on the CT side. Burning through their last timeout. Yeah, looking very comfortable. Cello with that opening. Queserato and finding those multi-kills. Yuri's been having a very impactful game. 21 frags from Yuri, majority of which we saw in that first half of play. But yes, yet to see FlyQuest post a CT round, and it leaves us at 12-5.
A massive hole to try and dig themselves out of. Timeouts have been taken of the tactical variety, have the final conversation, see what they can cobble together with this buy. Got a couple of MP9s, 2 M4s in the mix. The utils there, there's a kit in play. But the heroics need to begin, and that needs to really start with an opening kill or even a shutdown for FlyQuest.
Such a quick main smoke they're throwing out here. This is brutal. Inns, what's he got for us? Himself across, and Alistair, avant-garde, aggressive position, puts a dink into Yuri, just going to crouch away. He's actually going for a repeat. Yuri, you brave soldier. 1 point of health. An opening kill, though. That's what you've been looking
And another
for.
one for Inns. He's the only one to have opening frags so far in this map, and this map is the series. They don't get the opportunity to get the double. You mentioned Yuri getting away with his life. Let's see how much of a nuisance he can be, as Queserato having to be a bit more active, has the new addition of Skulls alongside for the ride towards this ramp pressure.
Ooh, and Inns was holding that angle. Fallen just goes aggressive for it. Yuri, given the gift of the orb, will post another.
Oh dear. They're just going to pick them apart one at a time.
Certainly feels that way. They're more than happy to have a fight, have a biff. Alistair, oh, taken down on that tiny sliver gap as it all falls apart for FlyQuest. And there it goes, as quick and as easy as that. Furia, a quick day for them to start off, running through FlyQuest, sending the Australians eliminated from the Esports World Cup.
Quick and concise victory there for Furia. As mentioned, plenty more best of ones to come today if they want to make their way through the resurrection bracket and join the rest of the pack in the playoffs. 7 teams already idly sitting by while today's gauntlet goes down. And even some of those rounds within that first half that went against Furia, you could chalk up to having Skulls in the roster, things feeling a little bit new. It could have been comms issues with how late those rounds played out. But great impact from Yuri, Fallen with a couple of moments. And their first victory with Skulls in the roster after the defeat yesterday to Na'Vi. FlyQuest, it was quick. A loss to FaZe and now a loss to Furia. And that would be their campaign done and dusted.
Furia, that boot camp paying off, coming into this break looking well-rounded, despite the integration of a new player into their ranks, and the Brazilians going to be getting themselves equipped for another. It's a long old road back into those playoffs, and just one spot with the 8 teams battling it out here in the resurrection stage. I think my highlight has to be the individual performances of Yuri and Queserato. We used to talk about the fangs of Furia. I think if both of those guys are sharp, we could be looking at a bit of a Furia lower bracket run.
Well, Fallen down on the sidelines, ready to give us a winner's interview after the victory over FlyQuest.
And yes, indeed, we're live at the EWC stage here at the Amazon set. Of course, Furia victorious. We have Fallen joining us on the interview. First of all, congratulations. Now we have to talk about things. Of course, you've had less than 2 weeks pretty much to put together kind of changes, teething issues maybe with skulls. Was that why you had some problems versus Navi yesterday?
It's hard to say. I don't think it's fair to only put the blame on time. I think we could have played much better, mainly on the second map. There's a lot of things that we know how to do, but we didn't set them up properly. So I wouldn't say, and actually the task to beat Navi was a tough one as well. They have been together for a while, very strong team. So yeah, we need time to get better, but I wouldn't put the defeat only on the time. There's a lot of issues, and we're going to keep working and improving every single day.
What do you feel were kind of crutch bits that you needed to fix from yesterday to today to get ready for your game?
I would say most on the CT side, summing up other players' ideas. When they start doing something, you kind of choosing something that aggregates their play. I would say that that's the most important thing that we try to fix here. And today I think they made a good comeback on the late stage of the first half. And the game was actually getting hard at that point. But winning both pistols on the best of one is always going to be super difficult for the team who is trying to play against you. So I think that played a huge factor for us this time.
Absolutely. I mean, between best of one, you know, starting CT on Nuke, even if it slipped a bit away, but still, you're able to bring it back. So now you refocus. Best of three is the next step. How do you feel about those?
Best of three is not said?
Coming up after.
You think so? I don't.
We got best of ones and then a best of three after if you can survive. What do you feel? Is there anybody that you're excited to play against, that you're really setting yourself up for?
Right now our focus is on the next match. We're going to have another 2 BO1s. Next one's against GG Hall or Sanji, if I'm not wrong. So we have to focus on this match and keep going from there. And hopefully we can get to the BO3 stage and play even more further in the tournament.
That's pretty much the focus here for every team. But because you were victorious, it has to be given here. The keys from the team you just defeated. Honestly, it is hardcore, but it has to be done. Go ahead. FlyQuest. Oh, you're giving away the key to Fallen. This is going to be crushed now. Are you happy about it?
I'm going to bring the guy who crushed them to crush it. Yuri! Ô, Yuri! Vem dar o crush aqui, mano. Yeah, he crushed them, so fair that he crushed the medal as well.
I mean, I can't wait to see one player to try to actually crush it physically, but that's going to be another kind of thing.
Maybe only Blame F can do it.
Absolutely. Well, Fallen, congratulations again. Congrats on the win to Furia, but we're going to take a quick break and toss it to our studio to continue with our show.
Thank you so very much. Yes, this is the end of the road here for FlyQuest. Did not go how they wanted it to go, but also now that we know Fallen is really just looking out for Sanji, which we haven't seen for some time. Actually.
Don't we just all?
Still in our thoughts.
Still in our thoughts. But yeah, 13-5 kind of summarizes what happened here. This was a beating.
Yeah, listen, I think Fallen is always very level-headed in the answers he gives, and he says, you win both pistol rounds and you convert in best of one, it puts you in a good position. Yes, he's right, but let's just face it. This was flat from FlyQuest. The second half is just pure domination from Furia. It's entry kill, it's a very good time management, it's clean finishes whenever they decide to actually hit with the 30 seconds, the 25 seconds left, the util is great. Everything went the way of Furia, and this is an extremely sad performance from FlyQuest. That's it again. We see them 2 games and they're out already. How are we supposed to know how they play Counter-Strike? I get to see them 30 minutes per event.
Yeah, it's lackluster, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, you know, for the CT side, a lot of the stuff that we saw in the second half, it's your individual players need to deliver, right? You need to have good protocols to know what you're doing against some of the early stuff, and then after that, it's just playing solid and picking your fights in a sense as a team as well. What's going to be left open, where you're going to focus on, and none of it was really working for FlyQuest. First of all, we didn't see much of that, and then also just they couldn't find any openings. They were always playing from behind, it felt like, in this game, except for a couple of those rounds on T side in the first half.
Yeah, it seemed very flat. You know, it'd be like drinking some soda, then it's just not got bubbles in it.
I like that. I like where you're going with that one. I'll be honest, I'll be fair to FlyQuest. I think towards the very end, there were a couple of rounds where the initiatives were correct, like the 45, the way they played it, regathering information, being a little bit daring. We had Alistair's timing towards Monster, or towards Secret rather, trying to find an opponent, and we both know it's a matter of 1 second. You catch a glimpse, you catch a leg, you get the kill, and suddenly you're in a better position to close the round. It didn't play out in his favor, so I'll give that to them. But just in general, I think once Furia were put in these positions that you mentioned, where they were put with the opening kill, whether it's the leadership of Fallen or it's just in general the management from the players, they seemed very much in control. They knew what they had to use to close rounds. They knew the pace they had to put to the end as well. And as you can see here, the training is just on point. Very, very impressive for Furia.
And you can see also how it looks like when it works well, right? The patience. If there was one word to describe, you know, Fallen's school of Counter-Strike, it would probably be patience. You know, take your time. You have an advantage. Why? Because the pressure is on the opponent. They're a man down, and they're probably going to try to do something to, you know, level the numbers. So if you're just patient and focused to punish that, all of a sudden you're 2 man up, not 1 man up. And then, and if nothing happens, that's where you need to just have something in store, know how you want to end the round, and go together, and still just don't panic in that situation. You know, execute whatever the call is, and you'll still be fine. And that's what we saw here.
And when you talk about knowing how to close a round, this was one of the crutches that I had with Furia over time, was that, sure, in essence, philosophically, they knew how to play Counter-Strike. I mean, the game hasn't profoundly changed from the time they were at the very top. They knew how to handle time and advantages, but I thought that they were a little lazy and not too creative and disciplined with how you close a round. Here, this game is the counter example of that. It's picture perfect. You wait the 4v5, and then finally, it's Molotov behind the T event, it's Molotov behind side, it's a couple of flashes as you're pushing as well. Like, this is not just sugar on top of your cake. Like, this is very, very important.
It's the cake.
It's the cake on top of the cake. It's the cakeception. You need to do that if you want to.
Cakeception. All right, I like that. That's
not
bad.
Give it to you. Have it and eat it too.
Thanks, man. I'll just go ahead and put it right here in my pocket. But also pulling it out of my pocket will have to be the brackets. Yanko, I see that smile on your face. I'm not sure where it's going, but the brackets.
Pull out the brackets, Trace.
Let me pull that bracket out and put it on the table for you, bud, because you know what? FlyQuest losing to Furia. Furia goes on, and yes, they are going to play Sashi. Because that's confirmed.
That is decided.
Not Sanji, not to be confused with Sanji, but Sashi.
Yeah, so I think Sashi was the favorite in that matchup against GG How. You know, unfortunately, they couldn't get anything done here, just one best of one, and they're eliminated from the tournament. So, yeah, I mean, it's looking good for Furia on this side of the bracket at the very least. I think it was an important win for them, just also a little bit of confidence-wise. You know, you don't want your first tournament with a new player, right, to just immediately bomb out after your first 2 games, and still some spicy matchups in that lower part of the bracket. M80, Complexity, I'm looking at you too.
Yeah, that's going to be great. You mentioned Skulls, right? I think individually it's important for him to get a couple of good games pretty early on. I'm sure the Liquid times wasn't the easiest one, just by his position virtue of, you know, not a lot of people are going to give you time. They were busy building up a playbook. They were busy trying to mix a million cooks behind that kitchen. So for Skulls to suffer through that as well, now coming into Fury, I think it's important to find some positive vibes very, very quickly. And that's what he could be doing here in Riyadh.
Yeah, because it is a totally different storyline, right? Like from the Skulls that went to Liquid to the Skulls that we saw going to Fury.
It's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
Right? If you talk about Liquid and, you know, there was pressure there and people weren't really getting along, there was some different styles. On Furia, it's the complete opposite. Like, everyone's super chill, right? Like, obviously you have Fallen there who's in full command and everyone trusts him 110%. You have guys who've been there for, what, 5-6 years now in Yuri and Caserato, and Cello's been around for long enough and played with Fallen for the last, what, 3 or 4 years, really. So guys who know each other really, really well, where it's easy for Skulls to just slot in, learn, do his own thing, speak in his native language as well, and sort of show us, you know, that pain Skulls that we saw at Pro League a couple of seasons back.
100%, and you have to play the romantic angle as well, right? If you're an up-and-coming player of Brazil, don't you want to play with Fallen, like the guy who's the most storied player?
Without art.
That would be great. You get, sometimes you can't decide, but this time you actually get to play with Caserato and Yuri as well, which was the duo we were referring to as the most potent one in Brazil for like 3 to 4 years. Everything is in there.
I think
they're supposed to get you.
That's the big storyline, because, you know, even Alex mentioned it at the, you know, when the game finished, you know, the fangs of Furia, but Yuri has been not that sharp for a long while now.
I know,
where, you know, like I was even saying, is this guy still deserving of a spot on the team? Do you change him as well? But here he had a great game, and hopefully for Furia it's a sign of things to come.
Which is why he's going to be that MVP.
Oh, that's pretty logical.
There you go.
Makes sense. You know, he gets the token to cross.
And especially on Nuke, like he was, you know, relatively useless as a Yard player. I mean, that was where the weak spot was, and here he had a great CT side, just a great game in general. So yeah, a little bit more aggression, I think, is good.
Yes.
As we see, for example, in this round, that was like he was also just playing garage, you know, back of
I get
garage
that.
all the time. No info, no impact, nothing. Like people were waving their flag on yard, running around wherever they want. So this is a good switch up from him.
And Fallen was talking to OJ, and he was saying, you know, we have to take people's idea and we have to aggregate them into an actual playstyle on our CT side. I think this was a pretty decent example here, like the amount of cohesion, the pop flash, you see him being aggressive under silo, that's off a flash for Fallen as well to fight in there. Fallen is going to come with the AWP as well, so I think they have to synergize as much as possible in order for him to have these performances. This was a great example.
Yeah, and you know, it's a little early to say that Fury is trending upward, but they're definitely still alive within the bracket, so they've got that going for them.
I think we had teams who were like, you know, FlyQuest was sort of trending upwards, Furia was trending downwards for a little bit, and they met at the middle. So now it seems like Furia is passing them by.
Yeah, it was like the perfect storm.
It's like the escalator, we just see each other's, oh, ciao.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But again, that is the end of the road for FlyQuest. You wonder where they go from here. What do they do from now?
We're going to Belgrade.
Are they? Matt, I wonder how you know that. That's crazy.
I told you, he's got information. I told you.
Yeah.
Gotta squeeze him.
Okay, well, we could do that. But yeah, I mean,
Off camera, please.
this is one of those teams that we continuously see and we kind of want to buy into, maybe like believe. Like sometimes you get glimpses of brilliance, but a lot of times it's that flatness. So unfortunately, where do they go back to that drawing board? What is that drawing board?
Well, I think it's just, this is the first event of the year from them, and as far as I know, they just came here from Australia, right? So I'm sure they practiced and everything, but we know what the quality of practice is down there. It's tough. You go up against FaZe, you lose one map in overtime, other map 13-11, then you're down to a best of one where you lose both pistols, right? So if you look solely at the results, it's not good, right?
No.
But if you add some context to it, it's not the end of the world. So now after, you know, going to boot camp in Europe before Cologne, I think Cologne is going to be a big sign for us. Where are they? Because that's where you want to see a little bit more of those Chengdu results and Chengdu performance, right? To show that you can consistently play at that level.
No, I agree with you, but the problem that I have is that there is a pattern now that we cannot ignore. The fact that almost at every tournament, FlyQuest is going to have one game that's an eyebrow raiser. Like, wait, hold on a minute. Almost beat FaZe? Play all the round? Like, oh my god, overtime? Holy hell, they're about to just bring the pain in their next game. And they don't. And so this is something that it would maybe be worth visiting with them over interviews, creating content or whatnot. But is there an effect of when you play against one of the big dogs of Counter-Strike, you really do give you 150%. You overperform for many, many different reasons, which they can actually pinpoint. And then when you go into a different matchup, that differential isn't here. Is that really what this is about? Or do they just play good the first match, then the second one is a bit more complicated? That seems a little bit limited reductionist as an explanation, but it keeps happening again and again. And that's an example right here, one more time.
Well, the man that does have the plans and most of the time his hands on the steering wheel, it is Dexter catching up with Freya on their exit.
Dexter, thank you so much for taking the time to catch up with me. Of course, commiserations on the loss and the elimination here at the first tournament of the second half of 24. Obviously, really tough bracket to be going into. Best of one, single elim, MR12, losing both pistols. Tell me about how you felt the flow of the game was going for you.
Yeah, just a lot of delays with our technical stuff, but I think it's always difficult to start off losing pistol, then losing the force buy, and then them having like 3 full rounds alive. So we came back into it pretty well, managing to get 5 rounds, but I think we could have closed up a few more closer rounds, which would have made it a lot easier for T side. However, on CT side, I think we just crumbled, got picked off a lot at the start of each round, and then that makes it really difficult to really go back into those halves.
Obviously, you mentioned it when we were just chatting earlier. Game against FaZe yesterday was pretty close, pretty competitive affair. How do you feel that today was different? You know, aside from the technical issues, was there anything else going on with you guys?
More of us are sick.
Never nice.
But yeah, in terms of game stuff, as I said, just getting picked off, we didn't get picked off that much in the later half versus FaZe, and it made it a lot easier to play. This one, we got picked off at the very start, and it just made it really difficult to play, and we didn't really get trades off that, so it's there's still 1 minute and 40 seconds and and you're 4v5 on Nuke. I'm like, oh man.
Obviously, it's still got plenty of tournaments coming into the latter half of 2024. Cologne, play-ins up next. Tell me what you guys are going to be doing in that couple of weeks that we've now got between these 2 events.
Yeah, get healthier and then get better at the game. Definitely. Just focus on our tactical aspects of how we want to play. I think our energy and all that kind of stuff and confidence is good. shows up when we verse like a lot of like tier 1 teams, and we always put up good results most times. But yeah, tactical stuff to make sure that everyone's a bit more comfortable playing their game and yeah, just enjoying themselves, however so.
I know we were chatting a bit about it at EPL. Obviously, you guys underneath the banner of FlyQuest now. We were hearing rumours of you getting more European practice time. Has that actually been the case? Have you guys, you know, got more boot camps planned in the works?
Yeah, pretty much every time we come to Europe, we can have as long as bootcamp we want. But I think it's the sensible option is we have like 2 weeks in Serbia after this, and that'll be like, yeah, a lot of fun.
Final question. Obviously, you know, when we were chatting about goals for the first half of the year, it was to be beginning to make playoffs. We saw that happening kind of at the later stages of that first half. Any different goals for the second half of the year?
Second half, make the major, definitely be more consistent. Yeah, it's just in-game stuff. I just want to make sure that we're always fighting, and I have like a personal goal always with the teams where it's like analysts and all this kind of stuff. I always want to hear like that we're one of the teams that are being talked about, and just not like a fluff team. So that's what I'm trying to improve on, to make sure that we can have conversations about us at the very least.
You hear that, Janko? You're allowed to talk about FlyQuest. He would love to hear that. Thank you so much for your time, Dexter, and see you in Cologne.
See you then.
Yes, we will be talking about FlyQuest just a little bit more, but only because you asked so nicely, Freya. Yeah, into the row form here. Janko, we've kind of put a pin in it a little bit here, but if we look at FlyQuest as a whole, you're sick, you're not feeling well.
Trace, I swear to God, I'm going to go and talk to a damn like supplement company, some sort of, you know, vitamin supplier, because every tournament, even Cello is sick. Skull said in his interview, Cello was sick at the boot camp. He's sick now as well. They lost a couple of days practice. Every tournament, I need someone to crunch the numbers, man. Like the percentage of teams that have sick players at every tournament. Zaiwu was sick at the major, like dead sick, where he was, you know, like playing crappy in the first phases of the tournament. It's like, you have one job, guys.
God damn.
One job. Just stay healthy. You're not running around in the cold. This is what's happening to your immune system if you're not taking care of it, Trace.
You said crunch, and that's exactly what we're getting here. Maniac.
I know, I'm just watching it. It's like, oh, it's so raw.
I like how the
real
guys are just there watching, like witnessing it, experiencing it firsthand as well.
They're taking pleasure in it. Watching that key get crushed.
Big smiles all the way.
Big smiles. And then, oh yeah, they get to decide if they want to put it in their own little token, right? Their own token. They can put teams in there. Oh, I kind of like, I think it opens the door to like the dark side of us as a personality. It's great. just observe.
I'm just seeing you smiling right now. I'm like, man, this man, he's really
It's in the nickname I've been trying to tell you for the whole time.
Ah, yes.
Right there.
The Maniacs. Hey, but yeah, I think we put a pin in this one. We're pretty much done with what is FlyQuest and Furia. So if there's anything else you want to say, it doesn't quite matter. We are done with that. What we do have coming up is a break. We can come in back with our next game. It's going to be M80 versus Complexity. NA just trying to survive out here in the desert. We'll be right back after this.
We had a really good player break, and it's mentally we're so relaxed and refreshed, I think, and we're excited to play in our first tournament. I say it every time that every team's goal is to win this tournament, to be a champion, and always same as everyone, but we will do our best. After Senzo joined our team has improved a lot. He's a young prodigy in Mongolia. So he's a very good rifler and a good upper. Sometimes he can adapt to every role, I think. In our recent tournament at ESL Jönköping, we lost opportunity to reach the top 10, but we have more to do from now on. I think we will reach the top 10 in the future, I think so. Comparing to last 3 years, there is a lot of Asian teams made it to the A-tier tournaments, and After we made to at the legend stage at the major. After the Asia has 3 slots in major. There is a lot of our Asian teams has come up to in the Asia scene. I think it's a good improvement and good upgrade in our region. Yeah, I think so. I think we have been already in a best Asian team right now. Also, in my opinion, I think so the best of all time also. But we need to keep competing at the tier 1 events and at this level.
So my general feeling for after the player break, we went to Portugal to have a boot camp. I think we stayed there for like 5 days. And at the beginning we felt a little bit rough, but I think we managed to keep at the pace, and the last couple of days was pretty good. So we're feeling confident, and of course all the top teams are going to be here, and we're looking forward to do some damage for sure. So having Nuke as our coach, having him in our daily practice day is really good, because he was a professional player before. He has a lot of experience since the 1.6 era, and Bit is still like with us in our daily in the daily basis. So it's a mix of him and Nuke trying to bring stuff to us and having that experience to us. So I don't think much have changed with Nuke and Bit. I think mostly our game style, but our day by day, you know, how the practice goes, it's almost the same. So it's nice to have one more like experienced voice in the coaching staff. About our region, I think it's really similar. Like the level of play is really similar between the top teams. I think I have 4 or 5 teams that are really on the same level. And I think the main point for our region is that we try to be the best in our region, and when you get we are at the best spot, you just try not to lose it, and that kind of sets us apart from the rest of the world, because we need to get more. You know, we need to be the top team in the planet, not just in our region. And I think for our region, not only us, but I think a lot of teams had that same mentality, and I think it's bad for our region, because it just it kind of just stay at that level, and the people don't grow up higher, you know. So having to change that mentality, I think, is the best for the region. I think this tournament, of course, because we're playing against the best teams in the planet, so it's going to be good for us, and to take the step further, you know, to play against the best teams and try to learn from it. It's always good.
Jönköping ended very good for us. We finally ended on something on a high note, and very happy for that. I think that the team played really well during that tournament, and it's nice that at the end of the season, when we struggled for most of it, that we had something to show for it. Honestly, I wish that we had a little bit more time. I think it was a little bit hard to find a lot of practice because it kind of depends on which teams are going to start up before the break ends and everything like that. I think that teams that make a change are obviously going to have a little bit less chemistry. They're going to have less protocols that are down. They might even have a smaller strat book depending on if there was an IGL change or if there was 2 or 3 changes, for example. Then there's a lot of things to work on. So if you're a team that didn't make a change during the break like us, then we technically would have less to work on, but there's still I think that there's hard things on both sides of it because you have more potential for higher highs, I think, with a brand new slate being wiped clean. But I think in general it's kind of favors the teams that didn't really make a change just because you have more stuff that's under your belt. I would say the NA scene still has a lot more to prove and to show for itself. I think that we just in general need more players that are playing at a high level so we can have more consistent higher level practice in the region, and we would have more reasons for the top NA teams to continue practicing there. What's nice about UWC is that there is a lot of teams here, so there's a lot of opportunity for teams to show what they're made of. M80 is the other NA team that's here, and I hope that they do well. And the format is definitely different from the other tournaments where the first best of 3 is probably the most important thing because otherwise you go into a gauntlet of best of 1s and stuff like that. So you can definitely have a lot of surprise upsets, especially it's the first tournament right after the break. I think that it's very hard to change your style. I think style is usually just born from your way of problem solving different things that are happening. So if you're always losing certain ways and you're finding okay, well, let's try to approach this problem from this point of view or that point of view, and that's kind of just formed from every team. And I think right now CS is really homogenized in terms of how you problem solve. And when you do see teams that are a little bit different or they have different answers or a different way of playing out situations, I think that's really interesting to see. I'm feeling confident. Honestly, I feel confident every tournament. I think that you can always, win in any game, especially with how it is with MR12. I think that you can always have upsets happen, and I think that we still have a lot to prove. And I always take it from that point of view in terms of you have to always be fighting and feeling you're the underdog, and I think that can bring a little bit more out of people sometimes.
That is absolutely correct, as my friend Yanko might say, because what's coming up is Dr. Suleiman Al-Habib upcoming showdown, which is going to be featuring that of Complexity and M80. I want to welcome you back to the Esports World Cup. We are well and truly on our way through the brackets of CS2. So no matter where you're joining us, surely you've got a team here that you like to watch.
These are dead teams, Trace. These are all dead teams in this bracket, but one, a fortunate one, a persistent one, will be resurrected.
That is also absolutely correct. Also, looking right now will be the Jamil Motorsport Arrivals. That's right, these teams just kind of basking in the sun a little bit, trying to heat themselves up because they're going to need it. We're talking about NA versus NA around.
It should be, yeah. To be fair, I was a little bit worried that the fact that they lost to G2 yesterday. Obviously, like G2 house some of the best players in the world, but they've just brought in Mabs and Snacks as the in-game leader, and he felt like that was a great opportunity in a best-of-3 to take them down. Like, you would kind of almost anticipated the way they've been playing this year. So I'm not saying like it's a crazy upset result. Like, I guess on paper, G2 probably would be the favorites. Like, they're considered a better team. But just for those variables alone with Snacks and Mabs coming in, that kind of unknown quantity. But that's neither here nor there. We've got to move on, Anders. We're going to have a look at the lineup for the Mongols. I'm sure we're getting more and more familiar with them as the kind of weeks roll by. They've actually had some great success recently. We've got Blitz, Techno 4K, 910, Mzinho, the Boy Wonder, and Senzu. So, Anders, which one of these players really excites you the most?
It's gotta be Mzinho. He's like just the his smile and the way that he just rocks up on the server, saving Asian Counter-Strike, I believe they say. So it's really sick. Like, yeah, he's the man at the moment, isn't he?
Kind of the only relevant team we've had from Asia in the last 4 years, maybe. Like, we used to have Tyloo turn up at DreamHack Masters and occasional majors, but these guys managed to get to the legend stage at Copenhagen Major, right, and actually give Asia another slot. So, yeah, they're kind of carrying the whole scene on their back right now.
Yeah, they truly are. It's remarkable. It really is. And obviously from Mongolia, for some reason, they've just managed to churn out a lot of talent. There are just countries like that. You don't expect it, maybe, but suddenly they just put themselves on the map. So I'm excited for it. I think this is going to be still a good lineup. I expect they're going to be winning this one, but again, best of ones are notoriously hard to predict. So I'm not going to say anywhere near 100%, but MIBR, they're going to be playing on the other side, Henry, and like I said, I don't think this is a walkover lineup either.
Exit, Insani, BR and Arenazan. We're going to call him Breno today. Safe
Breno.
And Drop. Yeah, this is a team that's actually seem to be staying together for some time now. The lineup doesn't seem to change that much. We've been waiting for them to really kind of find some glory with the MIBR tag. It's kind of fallen out of grace in the last couple of years. Like, when they had, like, Tarek and Stewie playing for them with Fallen and Fur and everyone, and kind of you were still hyped about the lineup. They still felt super relevant. I don't really say these guys aren't. It's just like not as exciting as what it once was. So they're just inside, or just outside the top 20, I should say. They're ranked number 21 in the world. Yesterday they lost to Spirit, which to be honest would be expected.
Fair enough.
They did get owned though. They lost 13-4 and 13-3. So yeah, Spirit are the number 1 team in the world right now, but they did get spanked somewhat. It looks like Magix went to town on them, Donk as well, of course. Their top performer was Drop, Insani, who, in my opinion, is their best player. He managed to get 23 kills. But yeah, like, against Spirit, I guess like they were never destined to win that one, but they did get absolutely rocked there. They did play Vertigo as well yesterday, just to note that. And then we had the Mongols, like we said, playing against G2. They've actually been losing quite a few games recently, the Mongols. So it looks like they've lost to Rare Atom, Cat Evil. Who's Cat Evil? I haven't heard of any of those players. They're all from China, and they lost to them. They're ranked 120th in the world, and they lost to them as well. So it looks like they're on a bit of a losing streak right now, Anders. Not looking too good for the Mongols.
Okay.
Might have been a little bit complacent in the player break. I'm not sure.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah, you're right. They have actually been going on a bit of a losing streak. Maybe some internal restructuring, something like that. Regardless, now's the time to step it up, right? You're in the lower bracket. You can't really afford to mess around any longer. So yeah, it's on now for this best of one to see if they can actually power on through. I don't know. Like this is a bit concerning. You're right.
So we've had the last chance games already today. We had Sashi versus GG House. Sashi won 13-8, and then we had Furia take down FlyQuest 13-5. That is a shame for FlyQuest, considering how good they looked against FaZe. Like, got them really on the ropes there. So in the upper bracket of the last chance stage, we've got Sashi versus Furia. We're looking right now at Mongols versus MIBR. The other game will be happening at the same time. Will be M80 versus Complexity. Bit of a North American derby going on there, Anders. But for now, we can take a look at the Veto between the Mongols and MIBR now. Let's check it out. It's best of one. Veto honestly doesn't really excite you that much. Like, it's going to be MIBR getting rid of the Mongols' most exciting map. They're normally very good on Mirage. Vertigo normally removed in these sort of situations as well. And looks like we might be going for Ancient or Inferno. It's going to be Inferno to close things out here. It normally is the third map of the series. I don't think we've seen it yet on this stream at least. So a nice change of pace. I'm not going to push you for any sort of insight on this map, but I guess it does allow you to play kind of quintessential Counter-Strike. It's a classic map.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, though. That's 100% win rate for MIBR at the moment with 6 maps played, right? So it's at least a map that they feel really, really confident on. It's a pretty good map as well, with a few more maps played for the Mongols. So, yeah, probably just a good playground for everyone to mess around with. We've already gone through over the essential details of winning the pistol rounds and not throwing away any, like rounds where the other team is ecoing. You can't have any upset rounds like that. You really have to just power on through. But I actually think Inferno might be a good map for an upset for MIBR, to be honest.
I think so too. Like, I commentated a lot of the Mongols over when we were in Abu Dhabi, and I don't recall them playing Inferno a ton at least. So yeah, MIBR, I know that's a bit of a staple map for them. So this could be a little bit of an upset, I have to say.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's going to be the playing field. We are going to have Mongols versus MIBR in the Resurrection bracket coming up very shortly indeed. Anders, it's that time of the show where I do need to ask you for your definitive prediction. We know how important it is, because we are going to ask the crowd as well with the STC played or GG predictions. So, Anders, who have you got? And while we let the audience vote as well.
Oh, that map pick did actually make me a little bit worried, but in spite of the losing streak and in spite of everything else, I have to side with the Mongols still, but I feel considerably more, doubtful about it. But yeah, it's the Mongols for me.
That's just to reiterate one more time. You can vote yourself here at stcplay.gg. We show the results after, and we'll see. You've actually had a pretty good streak so far. I think the crowd have been 100% correct on the B stream thus far. So I'm excited. We'll see whether they can keep it up, Anders. I'll go with MIBR. Just because it's Inferno, and just because to kind of keep it interesting between the two of us. We've been pretty much on the fence this entire tournament. It's best of one. Time to put your money where your mouth is. So, yeah, I'm going to go with MIBR, and hope my boy Insani can step up. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a very exciting player. And bear in mind, yeah, before we went into the vetoes there, it's M80 versus Complexity playing on the other side of the bracket. So the winner of this will go on to play one of those two. Likely to be Complexity. But I guess with it being a North American derby of sorts, maybe there's a chance that it is MAT with their new boy, Lake. What did you make of it?
It was, I think, unfortunately, it's an impossible game to judge based on the fact that he was playing like a wild and out of control Sairu. Like, I feel like that's such a, I don't want to make any real judgments about that. Like, obviously, I guess he could have proven himself to be like an absolute psycho and just come out, you know, defeating Sairu, but that's such a ridiculous bar to set if that's what we're going to measure success by. So in a way, I'm like
one of the best players of all time, actually.
I know, like, why would you expect that? So in a way, I'm going to reserve judgment a little bit more. I don't think I have a really good read on at the moment. But yeah, I you know, it's at least it's sort of trial by fire for him, isn't it? You know, he just has to be thrown in there and see what he could do on the stage. Henry, they are setting up they're getting ready slowly but surely here. Yeah, I think this could be quite an interesting game. This should be, if nothing else, more even than the game that we just watched between Sashi and GG Hao.
I think so. I don't think there's a clear winner going into this one. Just look at the fact that we've seen the Mongols. I'm not sure what's going on with them right now, but their results definitely are a little bit alarming. Like we said, losing to G2 yesterday in pretty convincing fashion. Losing to teams from China I've never heard of on HLTV. So not the best time for them. They were playing some very good Counter-Strike at Yala Compass. They took down NIP in the final. Take from that what you will, I suppose. But they played well the whole tournament. They looked very good. That looks like, Anders, we're actually ready to go. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, no more delays. I love it. Mongols going to be starting on the T side. It'll be MIBR on the CT side. And ready with a grenade here is Breno. He's just waiting for the cue. Maybe they get a bit closer. Kind of hard to know where to throw it at this point, but yeah, there's a little bit of a boost over. He's down to 1 health. The grenade does nothing, but that's a nice start.
99 damage with a clean gush. You don't see that too often. But Breno thanking his lucky stars. And that's going to be at least control of the top of Banana relinquished by the Brazilians here. So it's going to be down to Save to fend them off. He has a little bit of backup towards the quad side as well. Insani will be tucked away. And here we go. A nice setup to deal with this, Anders. Should be enough. You can see him taking all the aggro. It's allowing Insani to step up, but the Mongols mowing them down with those Glocks. They're so OP right now. Feels like the best weapon in the game in the pistol round. And we will see them get their third headshot. Bear in mind, Breno's down to 1 HP, so almost nothing they can do here. Bomb planted, 5-on-2, or a 5-on-1, really.
Yeah, this is a completely blown open round. Wow. Pretty straightforward stuff. They're going to get steals some USPs and a little bit more, but ultimately just a smooth ride for the Mongols at the start of it here. And, you know, another context, maybe we'd say, you know, it's just a pistol round. But again, it's MR12, and we're at the last chance here. So every single round is going to count here. Breno is hiding away with his dualies. Not going to be for very long. It is a flawless round coming out here for the Mongols. So they'll steal everything away. And we'll see if they can do any damage in return here. MIBR, I'm already seeing MP9s coming out. We're on Inferno. You know you're going to have close-range fights. I don't necessarily hate it.
No, me too. Like you said, it's MR12. You've got to take some risks here. Present the unexpected, I suppose. MP9s, pound for pound, are very, very powerful in the meta right now. Not many SMGs get a look in. We had like people flirting with UMPs and MP7s, but in my book, the MP9 is still the king and always will be. As we see 5.7's being presented as well. We have got an interesting little boost here. This used to be called the G2 boost. And, well, it hasn't really worked out. So that gives it the fact they force ball. And now they've got themselves a bit of hot water. Bear in mind, when you force buy in the second round, sure, you get MP9s, but you get no helmets, more importantly. Against the MAC 10s as well, it's a very difficult fight.
You're right. And just the element of surprise of having the force buy. I mean, sure, Mongols are they're gonna consider it as a thing, but just knowing for sure, yes, we are up against those, it will make you play the game a little bit differently. So Mongols, they're waiting around. They've really slowed it down. They might even be expecting that MIBR are going to go a little bit of aggressive, and that's not the route that they're choosing. They're choosing instead, Henry, to massively stack the B bomb site. So that's the other risk you can take. I guess you can either push aggressively somewhere, or you can stack a bomb site. They've gone for the latter of the two, so let's see how this plays out. Smoke's going up here. The bomb is still in the middle. They've not committed to anything here. This is just a little bit of posturing over on this side, but through the smoke on the other side, they actually do get a kill onto Senzu. So now it's a bit more interesting here. 4 versus 5, and they're walking into the stack. This could be dreadful for the Mongols.
Blitz, though, goes down. It could be problematic, you're right. We are going to see the smoke go down, and there's still a stack here at the back of the bomb site. I feel like the Brazilians have done enough that it's forced by was maybe a little bit questionable at the start, but they're making it work. Exit, the last one to be flushed out here. He needs to get at least one crisp kill. His teammate towards the coffins trying to take the aggro, and he's done more than that. We've got 14 seconds remaining here. Low HP on 9-10 as well. It's down to the 2 versus 1. Going to find that kill, no problem. The clock will be against him, but so will the MAC-10. A really great effort there from MIBR. It's going to be the round for the Mongols. They fend off the force by a very narrow margin. But does it tempt them to force buy again on the CT side, Anders? You could, because you got some extra money there by getting some kills with the MP9s. But at the same time, you're really opening a dangerous door at that point, because your economy might not recover. You might not recover. If you lose that round, then have to eco, you're opening up to a 4-0 deficit without even drawing an M4.
Yeah, that is very, very risky. I well played. I think Emsino actually also was catching the fact. I think Insani was pushing in behind them. So he caught that coming down from the middle of the map before they really went to find the last player onto the bomb site here. All right, a Deagle in play, a 5-7 as well. Some team damage coming into it, but otherwise, this should be a very winnable round for the T side. Smoke's a new classic. Up on the boost just to make things extra difficult. And flashing their way through, and I think this is almost 100% going to be a bomb plant. It's a little bit delayed, but they're not in a hurry here on the T side. Like, why would they rush in to try and throw it down? And again, you're just checking the boost. You're trying to make sure that there's nothing weird or wacky going on. And with the bomb planted, that's the round pretty much won.
Yeah, you don't really want to go hunting here. You can hear the USPs firing off. I guess the MAC-10s could look to farm some money, but you don't really want to overstep the mark here and give away an AK-47 or anything silly like that. Here comes Techno. Just what you want to see. $600 in the bag. USP struggling somewhat from Breno, and there we have it. It's going to be a very clean round from the Mongols. Just what they needed. They've got a bit of a bonus situation coming up next as well, Anders. They're going to have MAC-10s, an AWP as well, with all 5 players surviving. They're going to have a ton of money coming forward, $3,500 per player for winning by virtue of plants and explosion. Maybe a kill here. Oh, that's a shame. We do lose a MAC-10 in the end. But it does give them an extra AK going forward, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone from... Okay, no, he did go. He got thrown the MAC-10 and his teammate bought Blitz. We'll get the AK.
Interesting. AWP on 9-10 and one on Safe as well. I think Safe is a really fun orbital to watch. I kind of like his game in general. So it's opening on Inferno though. You never really know what you're going to get, but they're both on both sides. They're going to take the opportunity to try and do it. Round number 4, and this is an absolutely critical one for MIBR. This will probably dictate how this first half goes for them. If they lose here, then yeah, down into purgatory they go. And Sani does trade the kill here. Breno, so that's good news. But the MAC-10 just swinging against him. And they know there's a third player on the bomb side from that HE, so they have a lot of information to work with. AWP at top mid, so they might be able to put everything together. They should know everything. Drop is going to get killed, and my god, this is working out.
Mzino's so good, man. So deadly. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and that's going to be the round. He saw the gap. The AWP spots a player down towards the bottom of middle. They drop a smoke, and he knows the fact that that smoke's blooming. He's inside it. He will be able to thread the needle somewhat. That's exactly what he did. They were not ready for him whatsoever. And we've got a 4 versus 1 and 4-0 on the overall score. Best of 1 here. T-side start has been off to an absolute flyer for the Mongols. Exit cowering at the back of the coffins. Probably be put in there momentarily, as Mzino's still on the hunt. He's in CT spawn. Looking to find the last player of MIBR here. This has been the nightmare start for the Brazilians. They really don't get anything done in this first gun round. And like I said, it's pretty much the worst start they can hope for. It looks like Mzino might have spotted him.
I think so.
Apparently not.
Oh yeah, they're still shooting elsewhere.
Yeah, so I don't think he quite caught him. Gonna get this kill. And then take him down presumably. So, well, keeps him modest at least. Wasn't the cleanest of rounds.
Yeah, and gets to save the M4, which again, yeah, anything they can get here on the CT side. 4-0 in favor of the Mongols, and a timeout being called. I mean, I can appreciate that. It's kind of early on for the timeout, but if you're MIBR, you have to get the troops under control. Started the fall behind a little bit earlier than you would normally like here. Mzino, yeah, you said it, just a beast once he gets going. And he did pretty much right away.
Oh, he absolutely did. He took them way downtown there. That was a little bit rough. The Orb missing out a crucial shot enabled him to sneak up middle, and it all fell apart. Business as usual for the Mongols here. Certainly the favorites coming into today's proceedings. Never mind, the winner of this will go on to play either Complexity or M80. I'll just check in with their game as well. We might as well keep a tab on it. It is going to be important going forward. M80 have won the pistol landers. They're playing a bit of Anubis. M80 have kicked things off, and Lake got 3 kills in the pistol. So there you go.
Damn, okay. Nicely done. Keep up that energy. It's going to be Senzu going down at the start here in this one. Exit in charge of that early kill. So not at all bad. That does happen a lot when you're the entry onto Banana. Sometimes you just either get grenaded or you get killed like that. But they don't have that much work on the CT side. If they can snag away this round, what an absolute luxury that would be for building their return into this game.
Yeah, that's all down to that saved M4 from Exit in the previous round. They end up winning this off the back of that. This goes to show you that that's why people save those weapons and try and hold on to the rifles. Even one is enough to save the round. Exit gets himself 2 kills in total, but that's the rifle now taken care of. Breno trying his best to hold on to the B bomb site, dissuade them from making their way in. The Molotov will land in his front door, though, holding for his chance to strike. They know he's low, he can't hold on, and that was looking so good for 1 second, but overall it's a 3 versus 3 advantage given back now to the Mongols. Bomb planted, utility deployed, and with the smokes going down Anders, it's not looking good once again. 5-0 locked in, even after 2 opening kills from Exit.
Yeah, unfortunately that bomb plant again is terrible news. We don't know if the kid picked up on anybody. Nice shot here from 9-10. Not been the best start for him, but doesn't matter when your team is winning this much. They are about to be 5-0 as MIBR just can't do much other than look for the exits. And even that is kind of faltering a little bit here. Drop the last one left. He'll take down Blitz, but no scoped at the end by 9-10. And the Mongols 5-0. In spite of a good start here. I mean, they could have built something on top of this MIBR, but they just weren't able to.
Yeah, good start, but doesn't really have a massive knock-on effect here. It's just going to be a lot of rounds now going in favor of the Mongols. MIBR starting to spiral out of the tournament. Still early days. It's a CT side. The camera cover. The team to win one of the rounds. They have kept it relatively close in terms of the firepower, in terms of how many players remain for Mongols at the end of these rounds. Their money's not going to be completely out of control, but they've certainly got to buy in reserve as we get back into round number 6 here. It's 5-0 for the Mongolians, and we're going to have rifles and the NWP for safe once again. Barely anyone's fragged like Insani, normally one of the staple acts of MIBR. 0-4, safe 1 and 5, as Breno, one of the bigger names of the squad, will be making his way down Banana, but not before his teammate is dropped in towards Boiler.
Okay then. Another questionable start here for the Brazilian squad. Insani sneaking up, but Blitz just waiting on the other side. That is a great headshot to begin with. 5 versus 3 again. And what do they do? They're walking straight into B. There's nobody there, Henry. The bomb is even close by. They're going to know.
Blitz is calling an absolute blinder right now. Like, he's made these calls. We've got full mid control and 2 kills this side of the map. It's likely they've gone for the gamble stack here. And you can see that Techno 4Ks is clearing out CT Score completely. So they are going to let him cook. They're actually going to allow him to make his way in towards CT Spawn. They're leaving the bomb outside B as well. They're not sure if it's completely clear. They want to guarantee that no one's there whatsoever. So here come the rotations as well. They're coming through Arch. Oh, wow. They're really toying with them. That is so sick. What a round this was for Mongols. Like, so composed. They didn't want to give anything away. So much discipline being presented there, Anders. So even though they had to play a deep and spawn, they didn't have 100% information that B was clear. So they dropped the bomb outside, allow a player just to walk in, and just made sure there was 0 chance of them losing that one. So very technical and impressive round. Some lovely shots en route as well.
Yeah, you're rotating in there from the A bomb side, and you're not expecting for Techno to be up that far. You could just see they're running in. No one's checking anything. Sick double up and 6-0. You know, or at least I advertised a little bit that this could be a more close affair, but so far the Mongols have looked like their old selves again. I say it just as the push down middle is wrecking them. It's a scout, and it's the MP9s here, just making quick work of it. A jump around the corner to take down 9-10, and Mcino the last alive. 1 versus 3. This could be 1. Like, it's a winnable round for him, but what a huge amount of success for MIBR so far.
Yeah, the scout tag at the start to kind of ruffle some feathers. And then the MP9's rushing down. It was a partial buy as well, so they desperately needed this one. It's not the most beautiful way to get into the game, but they'll certainly take it. Mzinho, though, one of the hardest hitting players in CS2 right now. Luckily, he is shut down before he really gets going, and it will be the first round on the board from IBR. Bit of a hollow victory. Didn't expect to be posting their first round so late in the proceedings here, the best of one. But they've got it done here. Like we said, the money won't be like out of control for the Mongols as soon as at least one more buy available to them. Now here's the MP9s, getting it done. Pushing down with that low HP of 910. He got tagged by the scout at the start here. So, yeah, as you can see, they've got one more strong buy in them, and that's going to take them down to about $2,000 on average. Maybe a bit more with 910s, 4,500. This is around that MIBR really have to win now.
Yeah.
Because they are pretty much fully invested. First kill come in, it's a double kill. That's B open, and maybe the round already done. Once they smoke spawn, you can't really consider taking this one.
Yeah, you could see Mongols just, they really are checking everything. You get the double kill on Banana. The one big mistake you can make is assuming that B is empty and you just run in there and there's a third player. So they're absolutely doubling and tripling down on the security to make sure that there's not a single player left for MIBR on the site. There isn't, and the bomb's going to be down. Like you said, that's the round over. Just, what a quick round. You rush top of Banana and the round's won in one engagement.
Yeah, as long as you've got decent protocols, you've got that MAC 10 at the front there. It seems like MIBR aren't putting up much of a blockade in terms of denying that rush at the start. They don't really take any damage on Rootanders. Now look at the HP. That suggests that the utility isn't looking too strong if they can just rush up and take 0 damage at the start.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this kind of result here. But great job on the Mongol side. Like we said, they're coming off of a bit of a losing streak, even losing some teams that we've maybe never even heard of. So there was, I think, really good reason to be a bit unsure about what we're going to see here. But so far, it's been very, very impressive. Seven to 1. They just don't look to stop here. Replay from the previous round, and just the trade is so efficient. Good flashbangs, absolutely everything working out.
Okay, let's see if there's anything else to be said. That's you can see they didn't want that to happen again, Anders. They went for the triple nade this time. They thought it might be the back-to-back call of the B rush. They sent like 3 HEs over the start. Unfortunately, they do some damage, but it's not going to be the rush. It's going to be Blitz, though, making his way through that smoke. Finding Breno to kick things off. He goes down to 2 and 9 right now. This has been a really rough start. They can still post a 7-5 scoreline. Like, I know it looks bad, but like you always think this in CS2. You feel like there's no way they get back into this, and then somehow, some way, it all works out in the end. Safe, nice position there with the AWP. Should be able to get a second, but Mzinho, oh my god, he's just a beast. He is so good. The flashbang from 910 as well was absolutely spot on. Did you see how blind drop was there towards Cold Zera? So that's going to be a little bit rough. And now they're into the 3 versus 2. Exit will give his position up. It's a nice grenade, but it just tells everyone, yeah, but I'm over towards Library as they take down Insani at the same time. That is not great. They got that nice kill towards safe. They weren't expecting Mzinho to just come running through and finding that double kill.
Yeah, look at him, 12 and 3. He's having himself a fantastic game. 9-10. If he's careful here, he might be able to snipe away. Exit on the other side. Who's set up here? Going to be a swing on the AK. Yeah, they're going to try and see if they can really take him down. He does get a good headshot. But again, this is a very small thing that you're winning. You're trying to keep a hold of that M4, and even that's looking very questionable at the moment. He's being pushed from either side. They're trying to find him inside of the smoke, and they will. Senzu able to take him down. Nothing is saved. No hostages taken here, Henry. It'll be another round for the Mongols.
Certainly will. This one is starting to get a little bit worrying. I saw the money just before we came in. It looked like they're okay for cash with the loss bonus accumulating. That was a moment you'd think that's going to be enough, but running through the flames, Zenzinho, the danger man, as he gets that nice double. 9-10, that's a disgusting angle to find Insani as well. And yeah, like I said, the money's actually not too bad. They did save weapons in the previous rounds. So we go 8 and 1. They can feel this tournament slipping out of their grasp at this stage. Need to find a solution very quickly. 8-4 is about as good as it can get. I guess 9-3 would be serviceable, but we'll see what they can make of it now. They kind of have to win this round. But that man in your screen right there, Mzinho, is completely dominating them.
Yeah, you're right. Like 9-3, and you win the pistol in the second half. It's an open conversation again. Like, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but obviously at this point, this is starting to look really, really grim. We've yet to see MIBR really get into the swing of things here. It's Senzu in the middle. He'll take down Insani. There is an AWP on the other side for safe.
Oof. Insani's trying to force the issue now. That's the only round they've picked up, Anders. The MP9 rush down middle. So, when that's the only round that's going in your favor, I guess give it a go again with the M4. Insani there gets absolutely rocked by Senzu. And we have got to see another 5-on-4. They need to react. They need to like flash over B here and get some control. You can see Safe's trying to make something happen here. They can't just rest on their laurels. So yeah, there we go. Flashbang over. They need to at least get something going in their favor.
Yeah, it's time to step up or shut up here if you're MIBR. This has not been what we were hoping or expecting. Certainly not what they were expecting either. Exit is playing well at the moment. He's got 12 kills, but everybody else has hardly even got into the game yet. He's really the only one that's putting up anything so far. They are making their way. They're going to pick up the bomb once again here. Spending their time, Mongols. Like, they're aggressive when they need to be, but they certainly are not afraid either of slowing down the game and just waiting to see if MIBR will try something tricky. They're going to all group up, and looks like there's going to be a flash coming through the middle as well. 9-10, I think, setting up for his team, and they're going to go for it. Smoking off Arch and Library. It's a classic execute coming towards the A-bomb side. Breno at the corner, just jiggling away. 19 seconds left. It's cutting it a bit close, but they have time still to plant the bomb here. Blitz, one good opening headshot. That's all they need, and he delivers it on a platter for them. Inside of the bomb site exit, he gets absolutely overwhelmed them, but still 6 seconds to go. They're going to go and get the bomb planted. That is cutting it close, but it's around.
Yeah, you see with the crossfires and the players' position, you go, okay, these are going to be some good fights here. It looks like they actually going to have some, but they only get one kill in total. And now, Safe for the AWP, like, well, what's he hoping to do here? Like, he's now put himself in a horrible position. Like, I guess it's time to create the frag movie of saving a weapon. He's probably going to do it. But there it is. He'll go down in the end. Like, he might have been better off just playing at the back of B. I'm not sure what his plan was there.
Yeah, that does feel like desperation, doesn't it? You're like, oh, I'm going to show up and, yeah, like you said, do what exactly? Best case, probably is what you said. Like, you create a great highlight for yourself, you know, that you can remember. It's like, oh, I remember that time when we got beat up, but I did, you know, have that one round where I saved the AWP.
I saved the AWP and got 3 kills. Like, yeah, he should be just back of B holding onto the weapon and then fend them off as they come for you, I guess. What does it matter at this point? They're down 9-1. A chance here for Exit.
God.
He gets the dink, but it's not max damage. It's going to be another man advantage here. Mongols are just manhandling them right now. As we do see another aggressive attempt there. Techno 4K gets himself tucked in behind the half wall. Feels like this best of one is going to be over very quickly. Blitz trying to set up his teammate. In fact, this baits over a grenade. Oh, massive grenade in return. You can see Safe's got no Kevlar. So he just took a ton of damage there. As he'll be taken down to 15 points of health. And now, smoke down towards Arch. That's from bottom of the middle as well. Takes so much vision away. And Sani, he's only got 1 kill. It's going to be such a shame if this is how they go out the tournament. No one really turning up. No one showing us what they were capable of. Molotov didn't land towards quad at least, so there's some sort of doubt, I suppose. One player with the orb. Oh, he's missed that shot.
God, where did the bullet even go? I'm so confused. It looked like it was dead on him, but obviously wasn't. 9-10 is still going to be going down. Molotov does spread into the corner a little bit, but they're going to make their way around the corner with the bomb, and they should be able to get the bomb planted here. So there could have been a danger there if the bomb had got dropped in middle, but there's still action at B, and that's why they're rotating on over.
I think it's B, yeah. They've got no idea what's going on. They did a smoke towards Coffin and CT spawn, Anders. It has rotated everyone over. Now they've got no kits, an AWP on the retake with no Kevlar. They have picked up a smoke. And
no, but they've already given up.
Yeah,
already man. They said that's it. We got completely faked out. Oh, they're losing in multiple dimensions here. This is pretty rough, right? You're getting completely outgunned, and now you're also getting outstratted or outfaked, I suppose. Oh, it's really tough, isn't it?
It really is.
10-1.
Heartbreaking one.
Yeah, unexpected. But I guess again, good news for for any Mongols fans out there who are tired of watching their team lose, that at least this is looking like a bit of a team comeback for them.
Certainly. That is something. I think it's just like Mongolzada is looking very good. Like they're hitting all of their shots. Like the general protocol seems to be working for them everywhere they go. They're not giving anything up. It seems like a very precise game. They're not taking any risks when they have advantages. They're making sure they use fakes and pulling their opponents and shutting down their star players. Like you said, pretty much everyone.
Me está haciendo el desayuno.
Safe is catching up in frags, but those are just exit kills he's getting, and he doesn't even hold onto the orb, so it doesn't really matter. Everyone else is just exit. Has had some moments. Double orb set up on the T side, Anders. I've never seen it before on Inferno. It's last round. Just might as well. I'm sure they've got an 8-game squad order.
It's kind of a bold strategy, but you know, you're winning this much. It's tempting to do something brand new. Messino will take down Insani. But Safe getting the flex a little bit. All right. Maybe there's something to play for here. Blitz and Messino left 2 versus 4, and there should be a very winnable round here coming out from MIBR. Again, it's probably a little bit too late to start picking up rounds, but at least get this one, at least make it a bit more respectable. Win the pistol in the second half. It's a long road back, but you know, it has to start somewhere. Grenade, Molotov, just in case you could catch someone there. It's going to be Safe going down. Messino still very healthy. You've got to be careful. He lands another headshot.
Lo de mi BR es increíble, amigos.
What has happened? Oh, not like this, boys. I was about to say, oh, they fumbled the last round.
Lo de mi BR es
increíble. Gets himself 3 kills. He is such a beast. And now the retake has to come in. Both players are towards quad. It's down to Exit and Breno. They can still win this. They've got a Molotov for the pit, which will come in and be deployed right now. Thing is, that just forces out a wide swing, and you've got Blitz to watch the cross as well. He just needs one here, which he will nail. And you feel like MTVO, he's going to make light work of it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the most one-sided game we've seen all tournament long.
No, este mi BR está,
It's
pero
11-1 in the first half. This is the best of 1 in the brutal lower bracket qualifier. We'll be back with after this break.
Está agarchado este mi BR, ¿eh? ¿Cómo andan ustedes, amigos? ¿Todo bien? Ganó Furia, que juegan un ratito contra Sashi de nuevo. Buscando llegar a los playoffs. ¿Cómo andan, amigos? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo bien, perritas? Arrancando el día de CS. Estamos 18, cada vez falta poco para 9Z. Falta menos, digo.
Could be a quick one for the Mongols here. Welcome back to Esports World Cup 2024, where MIBR are on death's door. They are nowhere to be seen here on Inferno. They get one round on their CT side, and presumably this one is done. But, Anders, is there a chance? You reckon they can do anything with this?
It's always a chance, Henry, but it's unlikely, especially when the dualies are out at the top of Banana. It's Techno 4K just doing so much damage there, and more backup is showing up. Oh, they're getting eviscerated here. Reno and Safe left 2 versus 4 to try and hold on to this one, but it feels impossible at this stage. They have got absolutely wrecked here. The Brazilian squad never even getting a chance to put their foot in the server. They had 1 round in the first half, and it was a rush down middle with MP9s, and this pistol round has lost as well. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that is actually a very good point. The fact that that's the only round they actually picked up was when they had a half-buy of MP9s and just rushed down middle. That is literally it. Oh, God, what a sickening way to exit the tournament. You're right as well. The dualies just doing so much work out there in this particular round. It's just a walk in the park right now for the Mongols. Bear in mind, it feels like this one's already done. They'll go on to play Complexity or M80. Suppose that's something. As yeah, MIBR barely even turned up. Like, it's a best of one, and you normally say like anything could happen, but yeah, if you can't do anything more than getting 1 round with SMGs, maybe it was for the best.
No sé si dieta, pero un buen desayuno. Huevito revuelto.
There's no 2 ways about it. He's got to buy.
Obviously, yeah. At this point, you just go all in. You got to try and see if you can make it work. But it's not been the most exciting showing here for MIBR. What happened? Inferno is supposed to be a really good map, like 100% win rate on it. It's been looking decent for them, but they're just not showing anything at the moment here. A little bit of a rush around. They will run into the one here in the pit, and Encino still alive, but he's not going to be able to get every single one. So bomb plant, and MIBR gunning for a 2nd round, which looks very likely at the moment.
Yeah. We'll see if they can keep the dream alive here, pad the scoreboard a little bit. They're going to be flashing in towards quad. They have got a smoke, I suppose, but it looks like they're just going to save the M4 and the MP9. Nice play from MIBR. Their 2nd round has been found. Delaying the inevitable, perhaps, but giving it everything they've got. They managed to find a miracle round here with the Tech 9s and the Deagles.
No suena nada esto, loco, man.
Covered 2 M4s as well. But there we have it. Mongols are going to have to force buy in response, but I think this is the correct call.
Sí, la Mongol duerme.
Got some Kevlar to work with. Means they'll have a bit of a stronger buy.
Están jugando bien
in the
nosotros.
follow-up round.
Okay. That is
Pero los MIBR vienen dando pena de que arrancó
the idea of making a full comeback and sort of getting into overtime or something, probably not a conversation that's worth having at this point. I think now you just hopefully try to play to improve, you know, how this loss feels and sort of get something on the board and show that, okay, it was just the worst start of all time, but you know, we could have played better or something. Like it's got to be that kind of conversation here, because again, they need to win another 10 in a row to get it into overtime, with the Mongols just kind of disappearing from the server. I doubt it. I doubt that's going to happen. They do have the 1 M4 and the MP9 in this round, and some HEs to play around with, so MIB have to be careful. This will probably be a very painful round to lose for MIBR and kind of get knocked out by giving it up to very, very little equipment here.
Yeah, could happen.
I could.
We'll see what they can make of it. It's going to be...
Chichigote. Vamos drop.
Answering back is 9-10 to 5-7.
O sea, nos conviene que pierdan los de Mongols, obviamente, este partido. La veo complicada que pierdan, pero bueno.
9-10 find another incision here. Looks like Senzu certainly can, as we're going a little bit deeper into this round now. 3 versus 3, but Mzinho with that disgusting angle should be taken down. If he held the win, I think he was onto something there, but
yeah,
it's going to be now down to Techno 4K.
He's got a smoke.
MP9 in hand. He has got a smoke. Does he drop it in time, or does he go for the element of surprise?
Ah, qué río de haber
He's
sido.
going to have to hope for the best so they don't check him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Smoke would reveal that he's there. Now he's hoping that they are a little bit preoccupied. Maybe his teammate on the other side, Senzu, could distract and, you know, a couple of shots. Ooh, don't even check it here. Techno 4K gets 1. Another one, and it's down to the 1 versus 1, and Senzu will get it. MIBR, probably one of the most painful rounds that you could have lost.
Eliminado, MIBR.
End up going down to the
Queda afuera de este evento. Semofori.
If it works out for them, do they have to respect that smoke? Doesn't look like it's going to be too fun to commit through it. There is actually a full line of smokes now Elige good for one, but those 5-7s are fragging. Dangerous pistol in the right hand. Hauser good for one back. Floppy into the site. Will slow things down as the A rotations come through. Rep and Slacks making their way, but obscured by the smoke. Won't be able to find anything through Temple.
Well, they can use these smokes their own to try and close down a couple of the choke points. One towards B main might be handy. The other over towards Dark if they get the space. But still going to be very tough against the rifles.
Juega Furia, sí, lo juega ahora.
Floppy, the contingency.
Furia con lo de Sashi, eso.
Elige holding it down. Yeah, trying to get away. Looks like his fate.
10 y 20, falta media horita todavía.
Confirms it. And as you said, you know, the game kind of riding on these second round force buys with the best of one. It is just so unforgiving.
Well,
El Pele Elige.
That we're likely to see from M80 to have a quick little look at what's going on in the Mongols versus MIBR game. And if you're a Brazilian Counter-Strike fan, it's not too pretty right now. You did ask me before we started the best of one, so I thought would be the favorites, and I would have said Complexity and Mongols if they were going to clash in the final for the Resurrection.
Hoy está la Liga Ace también, amigos.
In the next round of play, Sashi versus Furia on the other side of things, and an onslaught of nades.
That's
that one.
Way to open up the B site. Now they did stack it. Perhaps they're going to overlook Swisher towards this jail position. Sin's the only one to get a little summit. $300 is all he leaves that round with. I love this. I wish we just had a Jason Lake.
Permanent Jason Lake. Yeah. Maybe we could see if we could get him up here in the commentary booth, and he could sit over there. That way it'd be nice and loud for everybody.
Yeah, perfect.
Nah.
Owner Pixel fans in the building.
Look at that, worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
I love this though. These deep nades off the pillar, especially against the lighter buys, always a great way to soften up and then follow through, because it stops that player from really wanting to swing on low HP if they're trying to clamp down. Here we go, aggression. Oh, Lake wants to break it. Thought he was just going to push through. Going to clear the way for Slax's AWP.
Yeah, I mean, threatening aggression from multiple fronts, but no comment from either of them. Completely abandoned middle, hoping the smoke will keep the T's at bay. And they do seem to be respecting it.
That's the thing, because you were disallowed your aggressive maneuver, you didn't catch anything. Do you just sit and wait? You're going to have to re-aggress at some point. B main, probably the most likely port of call. You have to see if these extremities are softened up. You can see Lake's position to deal with that. He's got the support of Slax's AWP. The ruckus is being kicked up in middle right now, again by this JT and Elige combo. Hoping for the CT reaction, losing this real estate. They're holding on to Molotovs. They've also got some smoke still in their hands, so looking to block with this. Complexity are going to need to be a bit more threatening shortly. Otherwise, they'll be locked out by grey screens, and they've only got one HE in the back pocket of Floppy to try and break late.
Ahora estoy, 10-5.
Oh, that changes the dynamic. A camera smoke, this B defense, they have to fight.
Oh. Buen mapa Noise, Me da ganas de jugar últimamente. A Noise. Cuando actualice la compu, sabe unos counters. Me va a andar como Jesucristo, loco.
20 seconds, Alex.
A ver, Pele Elige. Mira Mastercard ahí, como sponsor. Ay, Slacks. Estaba Lake. Lake para carrear.
Maybe this gets awkward. Sin, a real opportunity here, but he's taking his sweet time. Lake onto Hauser through the smoke. No.
¡Oh! Y volví a Alemania, burria.
Punish frag. How has that gone wrong? How has that slipped through his fingers and the round falls apart because of it? That is a screamer.
Borralo la mierda, hermano.
That was their way back into the round. I'm not sure exactly how Hauser went down. He must have been trying to linger, get some space behind that smoke. He felt like a freebie of the kill.
Eliminalo y que sea urgente.
The way back in. But JT, someone smiling down upon him today. You could see, obviously, difficult to track the movement of a player when they're not expecting you. They're not swinging and looking for that fight. But this just, oh dear, ducks under the shots and Sin. Oh no.
No, Sin.
Yeah.
Te quedaste sin manos.
That's one of those rounds that's going to be very hard to forget. He'll be thinking about that one tonight.
If you when you close your eyes tonight, that's all you're going to see.
Oh god, yeah.
You're going to be replaying it
on repeat
over and over and over again.
¿Se hicieron las predicciones del Discord para el día de hoy?
I mean, you know, we're not making excuses for him, but it is a very apt observation you made about them. When the opponent isn't looking for you, when they're not peeking into you, it's much harder to kind of get that tracking clean. But yeah, either way.
Hoy tenemos Liga Ace al mediodía.
Oh, that's something back. Sin has actually provided an opening.
All right, well, if you can make up for
Ojalá pierda Mongo por
the
espera.
previous, an opportunity for MA to get on the round within their second half of play. Did feel like a bit of a damp squib within the first half, and then we saw the M80 get ignited. Hasn't really been fireworks as far as the type of Counter-Strike that we've seen.
We get this head-to-head on the other side now. Rek and Floppy.
Flopardo.
They seem to have the better of him, but on the CT side, Rek,
bomb in their hands.
With Slax's help, has found a very lovely double. Round-defining double. As all that remains is Grim.
Va a sumar ahora más M80. Gracias Hernán, gracias hermano por el sub. Sólido Grim, Ayer mató 220 Grim en el mapa. Ah, no, y también. Pero troca el muchacho. 1v5. 1v5.
Well, this is the thing. There's money on Halzok, JT, as well as Elige. So Grim could be considering the save. Sure, it's going to help them out a little bit, but I think
mala suerte.
Have been
Bad looky, man.
better going forward regardless. We'll get it ripped away on a bit of a timing there. So M80, after the fumble of the previous, they get the MP9s in their hands. Sin goes aggressive towards middle, finds the first, the exchange over towards A main, bomb dropped into enemy's hands. The desk was discussing Halzok now that everything's sorted as far as his contract. Maybe it might free him up a little bit. You don't want to see the Halzok frustrations in the first tournament coming back from the break. We know he loves a good leg punch.
Let his thigh heal fully.
Yeah. 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Rehab.
11-6. Gana Complexity. Tiene Krieg Helser. No le cabe una al Helser. Al Helser. Está bueno. Está bueno.
Finds Grim and Elige. That's two of the hardest hitters of Complexity down early. That's opening kills for M80. Back-to-back rounds.
You can see Late looks much more comfortable today. Obviously, the first game of this level.
Helser que hace bastante juega en Complexity.
How do you not get kind of consumed by that?
Exactly. You're having a tough go
O sea,
against it, understand.
este último tiempo, por lo menos.
Now this is a whole lot more familiar territory. Players that you'll have
Después
played
no me acuerdo
against,
del
names
tiempo que
that you
estaba.
know. When you know them, well, you're not as afraid of them.
Floppy. Me acompaña Krieg de Helser. Nah, pedido Helser. Si tenía un AK lo matabas.
The smoke will facilitate a retrieval of the bomb. I say that. Briggs needs to be cleared.
Ahora este.
It's not a scary looking X-ray.
To do, yeah, look at that.
JT.
3 players around this pillar. They are going to give him a bit of a fight. JT
1v3.
No damage inflicted.
Ah.
JT's scary in the clutch. We know he can have those
JT.
crazy impact rounds. But it doesn't seem that round 18 was going to be his day.
Okay, well, maybe we need to buy M80 some alarm clocks. You know, the late starters.
Yeah.
But when they start, Alex, they're ferocious.
Oh, they've rolled out of bed right now.
The sleep out of the eyes. Well, they've only got 2 CC-sided rounds. Maybe I'll wait until...
La Siria.
It's an eco, so dude...
Saludos.
Call it 3, you know. And they've only, you know, found these openings through different ports. It was towards the
La pistolita en Complexity.
Previously Sin towards middle. We saw Lake charging up towards B main. That was all lovely.
Full Eagles. Tac.
All these Eagles now sounding off. M80 have a very good idea of what is on the other side. Swisher was the other heavy hitter of M80 alongside of Malbs. So if he gets activated late into this piece, Lake's definitely had quite a few impact rounds with multi-kills sitting at the top of the scoreboard for his team on 14.
I like this. This is something we can all do at home.
The Complexity conga line.
Yeah. Just having a nice little walk through the map together.
For the map. Ya te esa idea con la pista Complexity. Tiene que skipear, tiene que skipear esta ronda. Para buscar cerrar. Recordemos que estamos en el lower acá, amigos. No le quiere skipear mucho, fíjate. Tuvo 1 en lower. Si perdemos quedando afuera.
Well, they've done a really good job, M80, of not feeling any threats and holding on to the util. Look at the amount of nades that you have left at 50 seconds of the round now to block, now to stall, now to get that crowd control.
Traba bien esa idea M80. Donde va a atacar Complexity. Uy, uy. Lo agarraban justo subiendo Rek, pero podía disparar bien con el M4 y llevarse la doble. Sin que acompaña. Bueno, spray de Slax. 11-8. Acá es una bala en el lower, Es una balita. Perdés si estás afuera del evento.
Rifles to be invested by Complexity, but before they get back underway, TC wanted to take a tactical timeout and have a conversation. Lads were lacking the AWP. It's going to make certain points of progress a little bit different in your protocols. You won't just be able to have Halzerk post up towards the T-stairs, AWPing in towards the connector. Can't just go for that pick towards middle over towards the door side. Slax is the one who is going to have those luxuries on the CT side, being able to take a duel or two.
Gracias, Lapi. Gracias por 10 meses, loco.
Lacking as well. They only have 2 Molotovs on the T side, so if they're hoping to go for the mid control with the doors and window double mollies for mid space, then that means they won't have anything left if they want to do it for platform on B, or they want to head in towards the A side and clear out Fountain or clear out backside. Molotov towards Brick, so you have to just think your JT, your TC, you're trying to piece together what the round finish is going to look like.
Hay carreras el fin de.
Back of your mind. Where do we want to
pica.
first? Where do we want to finish?
11-8. A ver este Ubi.
Exactly.
Hago bastante series en post también.
How are we going to open the round? You think about all the areas
Agitando la molotov,
to have those Molotovs. When you're grabbing A main control, you do the standard smoke, and then you do the molly towards the basket position, as you're about to see demonstrated here from Floppy.
Un M80 quedó dañado después de la ida de Malps. Se le fue un gran player. ¡Ay! Slax. Que no conecta con la P, quedan 40 de vida. Linda Veto. Ah, no. Cae un poquito atrás. La escalera caía, por eso no saca tanto. Traba rápidamente Caverna. Para mantener el control en ese side. Ahora repasamos quién juega hoy, pero tengo bastantes mapas. Buena flash, muy buena flash para ir a buscar a JT. Primera kill para solidificar en la defensa en ese side B y poner la ventaja. Aunque esto todavía no le da la ronda M80. 40 segundos, mantiene 3 en B. Floppy que está en side A solo. No, va a buscar takear por adelante. M80 tiene uno más. Las rotaciones les van a ser seguras. Y este va a guardar, ¿no? 20 segundos. Una mola en las patas. Ah, no. Vale, nomás. O buscará una kill y después irán a guardar. Ahí va. El no encontró nada. Está bien, está bien, está bien. Hoy tenemos bastantes torneitos. Ahora un rato, 10 y media, juega Sashi Furia. Y de Mongol juega con el ganador de acá. Después de eso juega 1v1 los ganadores. Ok. Los ganadores de Furia Sashi, Mongols Complexity, o el ganador de acá, van a jugar otro uno para ver quién va a ser el ganador de ese Last Chance, de ese Lower que están jugando ahora. Y ese va a pasar a jugar contra Mouse. O sea, de todos los que ganan el Lower, solamente uno es el que avanza en los playoffs. Está bueno el formato, un formato un poco raro. No sé cómo Gigeado cae de una a este Last Chance. Capaz una qual y media random. Eso es la eSport World Cup. Y después hay un solo bot 3 que es Spirit G2. Que es a las 3 de la tarde. Pero nosotros solamente vayamos a ver Liga Ace, que puede estar interesante. Juega Imperial. La Liga Ace, que es la qual y la Blast. Thunder Peak también hay hoy. Empieza a haber muchos torneitos ya, Tenemos Liga Ace. Anta Liga Ace, no la encuentro. Floppy. Hoy hay Imperial, que juega Try a la 1. Juega Bestia también. Oh, Elish. Ah. El Elish no, sin las ganas de cabeza torneo.
huge play here. Coming in, they're exposed.
Ay, joder, te mató B. No, bueno.
Clear out Swisher, but look at the damage onto Halzerk and JT. We need Halzerk to hit the headies, and he's only gotten the one.
¿Será el match point?
2v2 on. Rek braves the nade.
No, llegó Rek con todo, 1v2.
He's got the health for this.
Ay, como se puso este mapa,
Grim is on the roster for. Can he close? The 1 versus 2. He's sharp, this guy. Slacks with the York, likely to clear this angle, and exposed through the brickwork. It is going to be another M80 round, and what looked like it was going to be a walk in the park for Complexity has been disrupted.
Oh, getting tough. A massive round for Rek. The initial fight, right? You saw the flash work, double flash in towards main from Complexity. They have the third, the trump card. Steps out, gets the frag. You think, Elige, he's found a way. How does he not get this kill? He's going to be kicking himself. Not showing too many frustrations, but knowing that he should have had that kill. We've had a couple go by the wayside as Sinner's going to let out a cheer. Just one round the difference. The bomb going down has facilitated a buy again for Complexity, but it's getting ropey.
This looks like something different. I think JT,
pace.
He's feeling the same thing. We've got to do something different. On the Monacy line. Hoping to catch any info. Slack's yet to rotate through mid. There's actually just Sin jiggling from stairs.
They are giving them a lot of space in middle, but if they're just hoping to block with the util, M80 doing a great job of holding on to it. Take a look again. Still plenty of smokes, Molotovs, and a big rotation. They're going to clear mid out. 4 bodies encroaching on middle.
Could be the end of JT and Elige if they play this right. A doors flash would book Elige. Walking through it. Nice work, Elige looking for the multi-kill, late good for the trade. JT keeps the advantage in Complexity's favor. This is a big round, round 22. Elimination at stake. JT, Floppy and Halzerk. Rek looks like he's about to be put into a real hurt locker.
He's got to pick an option here. He knows he's open.
4-3, amigos.
They're going to have to come through.
Cams, he can hold it safely, not exposed towards the main crawl.
On his own, Alex, an absolute island for Rek.
Trouble. He is in so much trouble. Finds a little bit of a safe haven. Good for the first. Can't quite muster a second as they take the site. And the bomb goes down. Swisher and Slacks have got a very difficult retake ahead of them. Floppy, he knows these angles very well. Pre-game is perfect.
$3-2.
Tradable position.
¿Será match point nomás?
Bait. Hopes Halzerk
ahí.
caught him here and forced away.
Halzerk.
1v1. He's got time for
Hay
this.
mucho tiempo todavía en la C4.
Gonna have to go wide towards the cake position at the right time.
Oh!
An 11th comes through. It was a 2v3.
Ah, mamá.
The man advantage. Oh dear.
Slack started 0-7 within this game.
What a shot that was.
And to tie things up, 11-11. Massive shot from Slacks. They fumble over towards A main. The trade's going in favor of M80 and then Slacks. The bomb down, time against him. Hits an absolute banger. Check this one out. Flick of the wrist. Grim goes down. And we're all tied up.
Look at the end.
Se está quedando Complexity,
Rex just looking at the coach saying, you seeing this? Are you seeing this? 11-11 tactical timeout. Yes, please. And yeah, I mean, I know Elige's look like...
Se está quedando Complexity.
But I mean, disbelief to describe his reaction.
Ah, ya tienen un stage, es verdad. Ya no estamos jugando un stage.
Or was that just a very quick turn from Floppy's POV to get that fight?
Oh, in main?
Yeah.
I think he shot accidentally.
Okay. Just a random bullet, and it all kind of toppled and got
everything just kicked off from that point. Well, the guns are back out. Remember, we said Max lost bonus. Bomb goes down again. Complexity at least being able to get the rifles in the hands. One of these teams
11 iguales.
At least overtime.
Swisher, he's looking at his mini-map a lot here. A very committed position. With his teammate smoked off. He's the early warning signal.
11 iguales.
Propping up their chest. Will they overlook this?
Drake.
They will. Completely distracted by the throw of the nade. It's looking good. JT, however, keeps it interesting. Aggressive as Sin. Forced into the...
Oh, no, mira vos. Complexity.
From him. And Halzerk to try
Ay, Complexity, querido.
Round for his adversary.
Lo están combaqueando en un 1. Helzer. El clutch para el Melena, El clutch. Ay, 12-11, M80. Le está ganando la pulseada norteamericana Complexity. Está match point, M80. Ay, ay, ay. DTT, 11 rondas para Complexity. Y ahí se estancó, No, sí, está en introcable ese test. Están en un boost anímico increíble, aprovechando momento.
We might be seeing Complexity waving goodbye to the EWC first round of the Resurrection bracket.
Front runners for the Resurrection run.
Están en un stage ahora, ayer no estaban en un stage. 12-11 Shishibote.
But M80, they have shown they are here to fight. Does it really end in regulation though? Complexity, seasoned veterans under pressure.
Shishibote.
Imagine the level of focus M80 find themselves in here. Comms tight. Mid lost. Chip damage on towards two of them towards main.
Va a buscar el split para el side B, para el side A, digo. Son dos del side, uno desde templo. Ay. No, se prendió la P. Igual estaba Rek. El que mataba, el otro traía del side. 3v2. Llega a ganar el side Complexity. La ronda que tenía que estar más tenso de la P. Erra y le permite jugar a los de medio. Con ese split. Y Rek quedar bastante sanguchado por los dos. Aunque mataba a dos, Rek hacía lo imposible. Lake pierde el duelo contra JT, quedando en 5. Y ahora sí, amigos. Saca la ronda Complexity. Overtime. Ay, 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 troleo de más me parece.
So they break the streak of M80, sure. They tie things up. We find ourselves at 12-12. The cash injection into the back pocket. But I would love to see Complexity playing a bit more direct like we saw in the last stretch. Right? Because both these teams on the T side, they've been quite timid, somewhat scared, playing out these rounds, expecting a lot of CT aggression, hoping they would make some mistakes.
How's aggression for you? How's that? Hauser gets a freebie.
That's when Hausuk starts playing his best CS, though. When he's feeling it, going for the fights, it's tough to always manifest that. You're not always going to be on your A game.
12 iguales.
He's an integral component of finding opening kills, and that's a brilliant one early.
Yeah,
early.
Simple if they want to.
Surely you've identified the way M80 are playing. They're not playing on mid. They're so turtle. They play sites. You can take mid from them every single time. So that lurk, that late component, using it to try and put a bit of pressure on. This time round, they've foregone completely. The fact they found the opening, expecting a response from M80. Here it comes.
¡Ay! ¡Qué paja! Vamos a matarlo ahí, boludo. Chao. Ahora sí se lo va a echar más por el side B. Tiene bastante info. Complexity. Mucho daño. El Edge que le revienta las patas. Lo vuela, el Edge. Buena reacción de Complexity. Había pushado el de A. Le tomaron cuartito. Helzer con el AP. Y esto es 13-12 para Complexity, amiguitos.
Alicia's heard him and closes with style, willing to take the fight.
We need a bit more of that from Hausuk, right? The fact that he
cheque eso de las reglas.
Was ready for a B swing, gets the opening kill. He can find the confidence. It's not too late. It's never too late.
My name no qualify. No leí nada de eso. ¿Está bueno? Vi todo tomando que es algo bueno, ¿no? Esas reglas de los torneos.
Early mollies towards mid yet again. This time smoke window, and they're going to push. They're going to fight. Sin's coming through.
That's good. Oh, covered by Elige. And they're, Rek empty-handed. Haven't said that once this
están estompeando ahora, loco.
Fortunately, Slacks is in the right place for one. Oh no, the flash did connect.
¿Arrancó Furia?
Go again.
No, Furia no todavía. 10:30 Furia.
Now they can park Grim in mid. Lake's done well to catch Elige there. That's going to be a frustrating one. Switch is going to overlook this. Oh, and Grim, he wasn't even ready for the fight. Still takes it. Lake's already been noted. Got the kill towards T-Stairs and still finds himself there.
Yeah, how quick they go through the cache, especially somebody like Slacks buying back-to-back orbs. So if Lake holds onto this, can drop one into the next, but they need to walk away with
Pues,
something.
igual no leí de qué se trata. Tengo que ver bien qué es.
So many consecutive rounds down to nothing in overtime, where it tends to matter a bit more.
I mean, I like the call so far out of this overtime T-side out of JT.
You can see the call from Sin as well. When the chips were down,
14-12.
the second half,
Se despega ahora Complexity nuevamente.
on the B-bomb site, where it felt like he should have had that kill. He initiated the next round with aggression towards middle. So going back to some comfort.
A ver lo que sucede.
Probably feeling, hey, we need a bit of that now that we're in overtime. But Elige had no problems whatsoever dealing with that, felt ready for it, and saw it coming from a mile away. As we mentioned, traditionally, you haven't seen M80 play too much. They've been a bit more on the extremities, turtling up towards the side. This time they bring the fight, and you catch that opener just waltzing through the smoke, Elige not being caught off again. So thinking, hey, maybe this type of play is on the menu.
Y pero eso aplica para todo, digamos. Los torneos tipo así como, no sé, torneos que salen de un XB, todos esos torneos que son medio del momento. Ah, eso ha dicho 3 meses antes de eso lo que había dicho. Bueno. Ah, igual que eso. Pero está bien, creo.
So he's expended his, and is it enough to get them 1 round on the board on the CT side? Slacks has been gifted an AWP to try and finish things off.
You know, overrun wreck in the last. What is Complexity's goals to get this clean sheet on their T side? Deep connect to smoke.
14-12. Necesita jugar el 25, amigos. 25.
Posturing to go A again. JT's going to be keeping the pressure on B with some util. Responsible for middle.
Última esta primera mitad. Bueno.
Well, maybe they disrespect that considering they caught him off guard, you know, an extinguish and a go.
Le frenaron el contacto a la mierda. Cuando esté eliminado, abre el Slacks y mata.
Good work, however, back. Sin swings out of temple, loses his head. Grim from camera side. This is a lot of pressure onto Wreck.
4-3.
So much trouble.
Opa, doble Grim, clutch para el Pelegrim. 1 versus 2. Pinchan a la planta, lo va a buscar al de Poti. Se mueve bien Grim. Perfecto, Grim, perfecto. ¿Y ahora? ¡Ay, qué lástima! ¡Ay, qué lástima!
The perfect round from Grim. Just 1 frag away, but they will post something to hold on to into the second half of play.
Well, Lake's happy with that big smile on his face, and he had to.
Lo vi es que ahora tiene mal rango de valor y eso puede llegar a ser, sí.
Could have played mind games with him. Grim with a good timing on this.
Nice.
Bit of a double up, but everybody was already down at this point.
Pero bueno, necesita ya dar un level
exactly where Lake's coming from.
Que tiene que apuntar a competir ahí, digamos.
Could have already been hightailing it.
Hay que sacrificar capaz unos torneos, pero intentar maximizar el nivel. Hasta dónde se llega.
Slacks keeps us level.
Floppy with an AUG, you don't see this every day of the week.
Yeah, good 1.5. That deep angle, Grim gets away with murder onto Swisher. Punish from Lake is on its way. It's imminent. Grim's got a good idea as he slipped towards the jail side.
No, 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 no lo vio.
2 of them down. Lake the impact round.
Es la doble que mete Lake.
That was a possibility. So the fact that Lee's just come in, just so laser focused, not ready for that possibility.
No, me da ronda de trolear, man.
At the hand of Lake, a triple kill.
Triple kill.
To the EWC, but this is his survival. And he's fighting for it.
It's great to see this level of performance, right? Obviously up against a team he's much more comfortable with, and you can see there's one team coming into this matchup that's the favorite. The other one is swinging for the fences. Not a whole lot of time together since Malbs.
Yeah, Grim definitely saw that guy crossing.
But whether, you know, he knew. Why is Elige freaking out there, surely? It maybe wasn't communicated. Grim's under a lot of pressure. Either way, Grim was clearly aware that that was a possibility. One team fired up, the other one falling apart. The fear factor doesn't exist. And TC, you're going to have to pull them together now. Whatever the rousing speech is, listen, boys.
Oh, yeah, it looks like, I mean, your skin's getting all prickly. Your palms are getting extra sweaty.
Oh, you know that the mood in the camp ain't that good.
I'm sure.
Y ahora se viene Furia, Furia de nuevo. A ver si puede buscar el último slot. Que va a estar entre Furia, M80, Complexity y Sashi. 4 equipos. En realidad acá va a quedar uno. Y el otro que espera es The Mongols. The Mongols debería perder, boludo. Así no suma puntos, güey. No sé cuánto sumará ya, pero todavía está a tiempo de quedar afuera y sumar pocos puntos. Porque este es el lower, no creo que sume mucho. Gana una ronda, no. Fiumba.
Oh, commits to the spray. Lake puts Grim on 8.
Chichote.
Looking very good here for a cold round. However, Elige flashed off. Rek can get across.
Oh.
It's a shot. Can't finish off Floppy. They are low.
Hasta ahí quedó.
Sin and Swisher. Pieces together.
¡La de esto! ¡Doble de esto! No, bueno.
Connect in unison. Explosive synchronicity to put it all onto JT.
¿Qué está pasando, man? 1-2 para JT.
Classic JT impact clutch. Is this the one? He's got the kit.
Habrá una chance más para Complexity. No sé si en esta ronda, pero la próxima ronda para empatar y tener otro overtime. JT. 15-14 para M80. Se pone match point.
Won that race to 12. And now again, you start off overtime. They're struggling to get going. They bounce back. Lake with the clutch against Grim. And then Lake with the impact over on that T side. These nades, these holy hand grenades just landing, doing absolute damage to Complexity, who have to hold on yet again.
Tremendo, ¿eh?
I'm stressed.
Oh, it's hot in the desert, but Complexity are the ones
A
melting.
toda nada de vuelta ahora Complexity.
Okay.
And you can tell M80, as the game has gone on, have started to look more and more comfortable. The T side in overtime has, again, been a bit more direct. It felt like they've had a better understanding of what they want to do. Now we're going back to slow and steady protocols. JT full committed. That Singe will have been heard.
Yeah, Sin's actually reacting to that info with a recede.
Be main push.
Slips out.
Splashing.
Y se van a juntar para romper. Está Slax. ¡Ah! ¡No! Se toqueó. 2 por 1. Traba con todo lo que tiene. Uy, linda doble flash en medio. Y Lake que se manda igual, Ay, no se lo va a esperar el Ish. ¿Se le mandó? No, está pegando dentro del humo. 15-14, lo separa una pared. Pero Lake está en la espalda y no se lo espera. Va a morir de todas maneras ahora. Sí, va a morir. 3v2. Tiene que estar atento a las puntas. Ya mataron medio. Habían matado B y ahora en este 3-2 no le queda otra que pasar o para el side A o para el side B. Y Elise que ya llega para cubrir este side. Elise que ya ve a los dos. Intenta jugar con las flash para intentar para salir de ahí, tío. Y ayudar a su compañero. ¡Oh! ¡Ay, ay, 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 ay! ¡Ay, ay, 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 ay! ¡Clutch para Floppy! Oscar afuera del evento. ¡Mata al primero! ¡No! ¡5 de vida! Y M80. Que le gana a Complexity. No, bueno. Mira cómo gana.
7-1 down after the pistol victory. Some clutches to remember, and that's one to get the boys fired up. A win with Lake in the jersey.
Cómo le hacen el camino fácil a Mongols ahora,
But M80, that's a victory. That's a big victory.
That's a confidence booster. No mouths, no problem. They found themselves a 19-year-old from America
Cómo le facilitan el camino a Mongols,
Sure, familiar adversary, more comfortable today. And as you were saying, Chad, over the course of that game, they did find their footing, playing their game their way.
¿Qué le pasa a Complexity, no?
I'm still quite shocked to see M80 with so little, such a few days practice to integrate and to accommodate the loss of a star player, and they've gone and taken down Cole.
Yeah, you can see them get emboldened by some of those clutches, then they're happy to make their moves. Slacks with that AWP flick onto Grim, Lake with a couple of impact rounds.
GG.
Sin bouncing back after that absolute mare. We
Bueno.
thought tonight he'd be sitting in his hotel room, closing his eyes and having that one on repeat, but now the glory for M80.
Se viene ahora, amigos. Furia versus Sashi.
So many players would have let that consume them and just have an excuse as to where that round and where that game got away from you. Instead, they just showed such tenacity. An impressive win for M80. And that's got to feel good, but no better way to find out if it did than with an interview.
The one thing I find when you've got a whole day of best of ones and maybe a best of three to play is to go to overtime.
Yeah, overtime's insane. I think we were a little nervous in the first 8 rounds. Like we weren't playing like ourselves. Like I think Anubis is really good for us. I think it's a really comfort pick for us right now. Honestly, we played that really well. I think we were just nerves. Nerves was bad, but as we got into it, honestly, energy started to come up. It was good.
Because at one point it wasn't looking good. You were what, 6-1 down, 7-1 down. It wasn't the greatest first half.
It wasn't. It was not going great. It wasn't going how we expected. We weren't playing like ourselves. The call, we were calling stuff that we never even called before in a game, and we just had to get in that rhythm and just make it seem like we knew we were supposed to be here. We were supposed to beat them.
So when you get to the point, and you've almost done it in regulation time, and it then goes to overtime, what gets said within the team? Because that's a moment that you know you could have won it.
Honestly, we didn't even talk about it. It wasn't even like that. We were down 7-1. Overtime is a great thing because we had all the momentum. They won one round coming back. It's fine. We knew we had the momentum. We knew we had to keep going.
But then it got so close to finishing it. What was it, a couple of points of health left?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Got to keep going.
Well, let's just talk about you for a second. You've been on this team for, what, 9, 10 days. This is your international debut in a tournament. Just a word about yourself and playing here.
Honestly, it's great. I mean, I've loved it here so far. The tournament's been so great. A little shaky there first game against Vitality, but honestly, I think we're starting to come together really well as a team early on.
Does it help playing through a loser's bracket, a redemption stage? Does it help maybe to make you sharper, to get the team maybe more together?
I think it's possible, but honestly, playing against Vitality was really rough. That was my first game. That was a very big trial by fire, and it just did not go so great. There's a lot of mistakes, but I think there we cleaned it up a decent amount. But there's still things to work on, but I think we actually played that not terribly.
Okay, well, I think we need to get your key now, because obviously you guys get to crush this. I don't know if somebody from Complexity, here we go, here it comes over now. He's bringing the key over. I mean, it's quite wild that you get to crush this, isn't it? Amazing work. So you get that, you get to crush that. Who'll be crushing it from your team?
What'd you say?
Who's going to crush it from your team?
Probably Sin, Ilias.
Great shout.
Hace cuánto por este stream.
Congratulations, a great win. We'll see you through the rest of this best of one. Thank you very much. There you go. What a guy.
Wow. You wanted an upset, and we're going to give you one right here and right now. That's because Lake and M80 have defeated and eliminated Jason Lake and Complexity.
You talk about an upset. I am upset. I'm upset from what I've just witnessed. I'm all over the place. Honestly, I can't help but have a little bit of empathy for the catastrophe that Complexity just went through. This is an absolute disaster. It's a laughable result if you consider how in control they were. 7-1. Even then, 4v2 situation. M80, as Lake was saying, lost the solutions. Not in the game at all. Not in the right sync. How the hell did we end up here?
It all started with a 5v2 loss, up 7-1 in this game, Trace.
Yeah.
For Complexity, that was 7-1 up on CT side of Anubis.
I know.
Right?
Here, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, this is the round. It's like against the Hat by a couple of saved guns, 5v2 turns around completely and goes away again. This is exactly what we did not want to see from Complexity, right? We wanted to see a clean game. We wanted to see them keep their poise, right? When things started going south, you could tell that they got flustered. They weren't patient. There was buy after buy after buy. Like, sure, you have enough money to buy like an AK and a couple of nades or a Galil and more nades, but why not just go through that one half buy and then have all the nades in the world, an op, all your options. They were honestly a little bit fortunate to even get it into overtime the way M80 has been playing.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the score run itself back the other direction.
Se viene Furia, amigos.
We're trying to get control of the game at some point if you're Complexity, and that just wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't the case, but I'm more so looking towards the late round situations and the frustration that Complexity exalted. You're talking about a matchup where, versus the rookies of M80, they should be the one to have the pressure. They should be the one being nervous in these situations. Hell, we even had this terrible situation with Sin missing a frag from behind in a round that was supposed to be won. This is where you break down. You're a rookie, you break down, you don't survive that round, and then you have regrets in your hotel room at night. That's what was supposed to happen. And that's exactly the inverse picture that we just gotten. The resilience of the and then for Complexity, a complete breakdown. If you do a highlight or a low light reel of Felicia's reactions in the last 3 to 4 rounds, you will just understand perfectly what tension looks like both physically.
Se viene Furia, amiguitos.
Being a little bit impatient, being erratic. The last round is a good situation. He just crossed the smoke, gave his whole life away in a 3 versus 2.
Se viene un poquito de pádel de ayer. Va de ayer, estaba viendo ayer.
Qué bien que juega Forgy, vale.
Gracias, loco.
Por lo que veo.
Te amo.
Le gritaba, profe.
¿Cómo los agarchamos? 5-0.
A chupar ratio.
No me ve.
La revancha en 2-2 están diciendo acá.
La revancha en Das 2. Qué bien que juega Forgy, vale.
Yo banco la revancha. Uy, mira esa red.
5-0.
Buenísimo, Marto, buenísimo. Alta de Martín, que llega correctamente.
Se la tira Forgy.
Más que la tira para Forgy. Forgy que está jugando de vuelta. Quiere hacerla más corta todavía.
Ay,
No
ay.
llega. Diego me dice iba 4-0, lo está viendo. Un saludo para Diego, la cabra Ochoa. Te mando un beso, amigo.
Perdón, Dieguito, pasa estamos desconcentrados, estoy casteando y llevando los puntos a la vez. Es impresionante.
Esa bocha mía fue locura,
Estamos desconcentrados.
Esta bocha mía es descomunal, Esta bajada de pared.
Impresionante.
Ni la vio Martínez,
Ahora sí. Terminó 6-0. Partido para Coco Army, 9Z, que se queda afuera.
Vamos a contar al chat qué cartas eran.
Ahí está ESPN que va a ser.
Que no, amigo, el KBC.
Gracias, Ángel.
Metro 70.
Valen que estás.
Vamos a poner el del Este estuvo lindo igual. Este partido estuvo lindo. Perdimos por la guerra, pero estuvo lindo. No fue como la guerra, pero
partido lo que justamente tiene que anular la carta.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's real rough in the Complexity camp right now. I'm sure they're just trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And perhaps we are too, but we're going to hear exactly what Complexity are thinking.
Estos locos, boludo.
Alicia, appreciate you giving me a moment of your time. I know it's never easy in these situations, particularly as you started, 7-1 up on this map, then M80 pushed it to OT. Can you tell me what happened from your perspective when it got to that overtime?
Well, honestly, I just feel like the game we had just mountains and mountains of mistakes. It felt like a NA ECL game, just from both sides. I don't know. I think that there was just a lot that was.
I don't know.
Like communication, people not picking
Ahí pongo.
things that were needed, like during the time. We lost a 2v5. There was just a lot.
Le habla.
Gracias, Ángel, por su papá.
¿Qué le habrá dicho el verano? ¿Qué se habrá dicho el equipo?
Me tengo que tengo abierto
Yo
también.
escuché un apuntar a los huevos.
¿Así?
Escuché eso.
¿Seguro?
No confirmo, pero escuché eso.
Yo vi que Forgy dijo algo como
Este es Mauri, que es el hermano del Kun. Bueno, y este es un amigo de él, creo.
el poder, pero no sé qué habrá respondido. Sabes que creo que se están dejando, tienen haciendo lo mismo, ¿no?
La misma técnica de antes. Y bueno, es estrategia. Me parece bien también. ¿Ya se revelaron cuáles son todos los comodines o...?
Los explicaron cuando llegamos, pero nosotros también llegamos tarde, así que no sé cuáles son todos.
Ok.
Así estamos. Punto para Cosco Army.
Para el equipo de Cosco y para el equipo...
Acá arrancamos muy bien, arrancamos ganando 2-0.
¡Dado vuelta!
Ah, ¿sí?
Con este perdimos, sí. Pero ahí hemos arrancado muy bien, boludo. Nada, el hermano del Kun, Marto le metió 2 ahí, a ver.
¿Comodín? Ah, ok.
Zona octava. Ah, no sé la categoría. Nunca jugamos torneo. Séptima, ¿seremos? Nunca jugamos torneo, qué sé yo. No, ahora tiré la mierda acá.
Lo que tiene es que el comodín se pueden apropiar de la carta del otro. Entonces ellos le pueden cambiar el resultado.
Depende del lugar. Yo creo que en octava se nota gente por ahí más grande.
Puede pasar muchas cosas entonces.
Sí.
Juega bien. Sí,
Hay
pero.
que ver a qué están jugando.
Juegos muy.
¿Empezó el partido?
Sí.
2 veces seguidas le clavó ese Marto.
Todavía no hubo cambio de game. Marto que festeja.
El puñito.
Algo tiene entre manos. Si hay algo que tiene Martínez, que es una persona muy brillante. Algo está tramando.
Hermoso remate.
Hermoso remate que da punto para el equipo de la Coscu Army.
No chance en esa,
Era fácil, no poner.
No, lo adelanté.
Llega Martínez. No, todavía no.
¿Todavía no?
No. Es más, hoy me quedé dormido también en el hotel porque no daba más.
¿Cómo hago para adelantar con la flecha, boludo?
Hacer un poco de deporte.
Eso lo tiene que tiene Martínez, que es una persona muy brillante. Algo está tramando.
Hermoso remate.
Hermoso remate que da punto para el equipo de la Coscu Army. Era fácil, no poner.
Hello, Dacono. 1-0 nosotros. Le quebramos el saque, amigo. No aprovechamos esto. O sea, en realidad fue 2-0, pero después pecheamos. No. Marto también tiene que sacar muy fuerte el primer saque, boludo. Rato.
Ahí está, remate de Forgi de vuelta. Va a llegar Mauri, llega perfectamente. La tira Martín para atrás. Ahí está, amigo de Mauri. Forgi que no llega. 15 para Team Mauri.
Se repite.
Ahí está, remate de Forgi de vuelta. Va a llegar Mauri, llega perfectamente. La tira Martín para atrás. Ahí está. No es aburrido, eso es lo que tiene que.
Hay nivel, por eso está bueno.
Está bien, sí, porque viste que a veces está frenándose todo el tiempo. Es como que no. Eso está bastante bien.
La mayoría de los remates, mira, impresionante.
Ese no valió, punto para Sega, me
Ah,
parece.
sí, punto para
Muy cerca estuvo.
Primer saque de Martín.
Erra todo el primer saque porque quiere sacar a fundir el primer saque, boludo. El pedo.
Ahí está Mauri. Marto que la toca de aire. Mauri se la tira a Martín muy tranquilo de momento. Pega en el acrílico primero.
Está muy bien Coscu y Forgi. Forgi muy buen remate. Coscu de atrás.
Bien, buen saque.
Bastante bien también.
Se hablan también, se comunican. Ahí le acaba de gritar Boy, por ejemplo. Llega Martín, la tira altísima. Quiere rematar a Mauri que pega en la red. Logra pasar. Marto que llega. La tira larguísima. Forgi muy tranquilo que la recibe. Y ahí está, amigo de Mauri que la tira para el lado de Martín que se le va para atrás. Punto para Team Mauri. Quedando 30 iguales.
Imposible.
Juego muy mal, boludo. Juego muy mal. En general estamos jugando mal.
Ahí está, menos mal que Martín va hablando porque me va corroborando.
Hacia banda nos jugábamos igual. Tenemos más level que esto.
Saca para el lado de Mauri. No servido el saque. Va de vuelta. Saca de nuevo. Ahí la tira Mauri para arriba.
Eso tiene Marto, boludo. No se da vuelta el hijo de puta. Le pega de una.
Mauri que la tira para el lado de Forgi. Forgi quiere se la tira a Martín. Martín que no llega. Toca la red. Punto para Team Mauri.
Ah, no, viéndolo así parecemos unos horribles.
Como le dice Santi. De momento de los que viste, Rodri, ¿quién es tu dupla favorita?
Y debo decir que Coscu y Forgi, la verdad, no solamente me gusta cómo juegan, sino que son a los que más cariño les tengo.
Y el corazón tira, ¿no?
parcial, claro.
Ahí está Mauri que la tira alta.
Mira el hijo de puta. Vemos es un hijo de puta, boludo. Date vuelta.
Ahí está Marto que hace de
Le pega toda la pared el forro.
Tira Mauri, pica bien.
No se da vuelta una el hijo de puta. Está estancado, amigo. Punto de oro.
Trajo algo frío para tomar. Muchas gracias, producción. Es impresionante el calor que hace.
Ahí está Forgi con el remate. Va a llegar Mauri.
Ah, la
Ay,
concha,
no se le da. Punto para Coscu Army.
2-0.
Que va 15-0 si no me equivoco.
Valen, ¿extrañas el frío?
Mucho.
¿Sí?
Muchísimo.
No puedo creer.
¿Vos no?
Y yo vengo el último día...
No, el contador contó cualquier cosa.
¿Menos 2 tocó? Menos 2.
2-0.
Había lleno en las calles.
¿Tanto?
A ese nivel.
¿Vos decís que nieva mientras estamos acá?
Es muy probable que nieve en Buenos Aires.
Sería hermoso, ¿no?
Y espero no perdérmelo. Espero que sea cuando volamos.
Llegar y que está ya nievecita.
Que nos reciba en el avión. ¿Te imaginas?
Sí, hermoso. ¿Compraste ropa de algo ya o todavía no hubo día de compras?
Y hoy como fue el primer día, muy tranqui, solo aproveché para pasear.
Claro, está bien. Gran Vía.
Estaba pensando si comprar algo para el día de hoy, para hacer deporte, pero dije, no hace falta.
Ya estamos, ¿no? Yo me traje 5 camisetas de fútbol, todavía no uso ninguna.
¿Vas a jugar al fútbol acá?
Nah, ayer jugaron, pero como tengo 2 pies izquierdos, viste, para no hacer papelón, mejor no jugué.
Y hay que organizar entonces.
Sí.
Yo me copo. También tengo 2 pies izquierdos, pero...
Pero estás.
Primer saque malo.
Che, pero no fue... Ah, sí fue punto, no. Sí fue.
La tira alta Forchi. Pared.
2-1.
Ahí va.
Y no, muchos no se parecen.
Muchos no se parecen. Si
Es
me
0-25,
equivoco,
amigo.
2-1.
Sí, 2-1.
Ahí está sacando Forgi. Para el lado de Mauri.
Mi saque no podemos perder nunca, amigo. No sé si perdimos mi saque.
Tranquilo jugando.
Mi saque no podemos perder nunca, boludo.
Mauri que la tira de globito alta. Marto que no llega a rematar con mucha fuerza. No lo decide. Ahí está de vuelta, está jugando 1 contra 1. Marto que se le va la... Que la tira
Marta estaba muy cagón, boludo. Cuando juega por algo se achica el hijo de puta. Si estamos jugando solo...
Para el lado de
Mirá, boludo, petac, una nena, boludo.
Que remata.
Mirá,
Muy tranquilo jugando.
esa volea, boludo.
Mauri que la tira de globito alta. Marto que no llega a rematar con mucha fuerza. No lo decide.
Mirá, amigo, me dan de caen las pelotas el hijo de puta y le pega como si una masita le pega.
Mauri que la tira de globito
Mirá,
alta.
Pac.
Marto que no llega a rematar con
Mirá, Mendy le quiere bien con... ¡Pac! ¡Reventalo!
No lo decide.
Y ahí le pega un poquito fuerte y se regala, boludo.
1 contra 1. Marto que se le va la pelota para arriba. Punto para Team Mauri.
No, y eso me reprochaba a mí en el primer partido, que le pegaba y se dejaba cortar. Pero amigo, antes de pegarle masita así, arriesgá, si no, no vamos a ganar nunca. Ay, el otro.
Segundo saque. Ahí está Martín. Saca para amigo de Mauri. Ah, no, es Forgi. Mirá.
Acá quedamos al revés porque saqué.
Ahí está.
Y cambiamos.
La tiene de Lobito, la tiene Mauri. La devuelve para el lado de Forgi. La tira muy cerquita.
Ah, eso. Por lo menos si va a pegarle despacito, por lo menos tú caí. Complicásela. Globito. Para el costado, a la red. Sí, se juega, ¿vale? Al medio, así tira. Dale.
Que son.
Mirá mi saque. Pac, ahí, complicado. ¡Boom!
No de la nada, Forgi saca una de esas que
Esa
son.
me quedó corta, igual, me quedó corta. Esa fue la que me reprochó todo el día. Pero bueno, la paleta era nueva. Pero por lo menos me arriba, me le pego yo un bombazo. ¡Boom! Me faltó esquinarla más igual. Si yo la tiro mal,
Forgi saca una de esas.
Mirá vos, rebotó como el orto.
Igual puntazo de Team Mauri.
Pero prefiero perder el punto así a tirar pelotitas que vayan ponchadas y que la agarre, boludo.
Va a sacar Forgi. Para el lado amigo de Mauri. Ahí está Martín. Muy despacio Martín. De momento, pared.
Muy bien, dejándola pasar, Martín.
Sí, sí. Es una decisión osada esa, la de cuándo dejarla pasar y cuándo no.
Acá íbamos
Muy arriesgado.
2-1 nosotros. 2-1 nosotros, vamos acá, está mal he contado.
Estuvo muy al límite.
Estuvo bien igual. Ahí está Mauri que la saca. Marto que
Hermoso. Su saque, lástima.
Ay, no llegó. Punto para Team Mauri.
No, paremos este punto, amigo.
Estuvo muy al límite.
Estuvo bien igual.
Saque complicado.
Ahí está.
Mirá, mirá. Ahí es para pegarle un bombazo. Ni siquiera intentar sacarla. Pegarle ras al piso que sea imposible agarrarla. Mirá qué hace el hijo de puta. No.
Hermoso saque, lástima.
Ay, no llegó. Punto para Team Mauri.
Pongo para este game con mi saque, man.
Y game point para ponerse 3 a 1. Ahí Ahí va para el lado de Martín. No remata con fuerza, Marto.
No,
No sé por qué.
porque está cagado.
Todo un toque.
Ahí está Mauri que
Ya me dio vuelta ahí todo cagón.
remata, no llega.
Por un momento era el Barcelona de Pep Guardiola.
Sí,
Todo
¿no?
un toque,
Todo
impresionante.
toque. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka, tiki-taka. Igual se lo ve confiado a Marto, ¿eh? Se lo ve seguro de lo que está haciendo.
Lo ve muy tranquilo.
Ay, Dios.
Segundo saque para Forgi. Ahí la tira alta. Pica bien.
No, no.
Con el remate. Punto. Juego.
Impecable el remate.
3-1.
Un 3-1. Esto fue el... Me pegó una pata, boludo. No puedo perder mi saque, boludo. 2-2 es esto en realidad. 2-2.
Y ahora sí,
Carriable, básicamente.
no puede perder el organizador. ¿Cómo es esto?
2-2 es esto.
Está acá cubriendo.
Nada que llega a los puntos, está en Narnia.
Ay, no llegó. ¿Sabes que creo que estoy contando bien los puntos? Igual es sorprendente.
No, estás en la mierda, amigo, con los puntos.
Se repite el saque.
Ahí tenemos de Mauri.
Uy, qué mal el globo.
Forgi que la tira mal.
No, acá peché. Igual acá bajamos level, porque íbamos ganando 2-0, nos empatan y ya está. El mental se nos arruinó.
No llega cuando no vale la pena ir a buscarla.
Se nos arruinó el mental. A mí haber perdido ese saque
El Team Mauri está jugando mejor como equipo. Se encontraron mejor.
fue matador. Haber perdido ese saque fue
Saben lo que
matador.
están haciendo.
Los veo a los dos muy atrás en el equipo de la Cosco Army.
Sí, ¿no?
Ay, no pude dar
Mi
vuelta.
pequeña...
Acá es 3-2 para ellos.
Era buena, le dice.
Ahora que Porsche está adelante, me parece que les va a ir un poco mejor. ¿Cómo? No, nunca lo conocí.
Ahí, saque de Martín.
Pero sí que es crack.
Va a llegar Mauri. Llega cómodo Mauri. Martín que la hace rebotar contra el acrílico. ¡Ay! Punto para la Cosco Army. Gracias.
Ya sabemos a quién nos invitan la próxima vez.
Sí, era de él el evento.
Colta. No perdono yo en la red. No, me la tiré un poquito regalada porque te reviento.
Va a sacar Martín.
Ay, mirá, esa de una gana de pegarlo tuve.
Remate por parte de amigo Mauri.
Ay,
que la
qué mal
tira
que la
muy
agarré.
a la reja.
Se la agarré mal, como el orto. Falta precisión, cuando juego poco
Martín que saca para hablar de Mauri.
y vuelvo a jugar
Va
me
para
falta
la
un
red,
agarro.
puede.
Le agarro todas ahora. Esto fue para ellos, ¿no?
¿Cambian de lado? No. Saca para hablar de Mauri. Va para la red, no puede.
Esto es 3-3.
Ahí está Martín que saca para hablar de Mauri. Va para la red, no puede.
3-3 es esto.
¿Cambian de lado? No. Ah, fue punto. Ahí está, Marto para arriba. Ahí va Mauri a buscar la pelota.
No, Marta estaba muy masita,
Altísima de Forgi. Y ahí está yendo a buscarla Mauri. También la tira de Globito. Va Martín a buscarla, le pega fuerte. Mauri que también, ahí está Forgi. La tira, llega amigo de Mauri. Marto que no llega.
Impresionante cómo devolvió.
Sí, sí.
Seco está on fire.
Mirá este punto que perdemos,
Mauri
amigo.
que también, ahí está Forgi.
Lo ganamos en todo momento este punto.
Altísima de Forgi.
Tac.
Ahí está yendo a buscarla Mauri.
Globo de él.
Tira de Globito.
Marto que sale bien con la pared.
A buscarla, le pega fuerte. Mauri que también.
¿Sabe qué hizo Marto
Ahí
acá?
está Forgi. La tira, llega amigo de Mauri.
Marto festeja. Cuando yo le pego ahí a esquina, Marto festeja ese punto, ¿entendés?
Va Martín a buscarla.
Como que ya le hemos ganado.
Fuerte. Mauri que también, ahí está Forgi. La tira.
Mira. Está parado el hijo de puta. Mirá, no se mueve. No.
¿Qué no llega? Impresionante cómo devolvió. Sí, Seco está on fire. Seco. Es la remera. Tiene poderes.
Se le transmitió, ¿no?
Seco, ¿qué tal va en pádel? Nunca lo vi jugar tampoco.
Nunca lo vi jugar al pádel, en el fútbol se defiende.
O sea, habilidoso el pibe, en todo.
Fede dice que sos incarriable.
Totalmente.
Ahí va, lo reconoce por lo menos.
Rodri, gracias por hacerme la segunda acá.
No, de nada, amigo.
Cuando
quieras.
Llegaste recién a Madrid, ¿no?
Sí, llegué esta mañana.
Hermoso.
Me tuve que dormir una siesta antes de venir porque el jet lag. Sí.
Por hacerme la segunda.
Igual te digo que lo prefiero.
Sí, yo también.
La verdad prefiero cagarme de calor.
No hay
Hacía
chance.
demasiado frío últimamente en Buenos Aires.
A mí se me congelaban las manos.
Sí.
Está picante.
Parece que producción me está por echar. Un placer, Valen.
Lo echaba.
No, bro. 4-3 es esto, para ellos.
Puede ser matar.
Acá hubo un problema que pensábamos. Algunos pensaban que era 3-3, pero era 4-3 para ellos.
Igual. Amigo de Mauri. Ahí la tiene Marto.
Acá creo. No sé si sacamos uno más y después ya perdemos.
Buena. Ahí está.
Ahí tenés.
Ahí va. Me lo dio. Forgi,
Impresionante
que
los
llega
sabes,
correctamente.
Forgi.
No llega Marto. Individuales que son para clipearlas y dejarlas en un marco.
Acá Marto tuvo mucha mala suerte en una, para.
Están
En esta.
me lo dio.
No, esta fue.
Forgi,
Impresionante los sabes, Forgi.
No llega Marco.
Miedo tal vez.
Ah, si fuera en esta igual.
Buena forma de salvarla, casi le sale bien. Me lo dio.
Muy cerca.
Teoría de por qué Martín no remata fuerte.
En este Marto tuvo mala suerte porque él remata acá y estaba. La pelota estaba ponchada, amigo. Por eso no se le fue la mierda ahí.
Ahí tenés.
Yo escuché como rebotó re despacito.
Me lo dio.
Impresionante los sabes, Forgi.
No llega Marco a darle, lamentablemente.
Fíjate cómo yo o sea, yo a esta la saco al toque, mira, porque yo cuando remató escuché que estaba floja, boludo.
Increíbles.
Sí, mal. Hay
Si no, Marto ahí la ganaba al punto.
individuales que son para clipearlas y dejarlas en un marquito, ¿no?
Y la verdad que para ser un partido amateur.
Sí, está bastante bien.
Ya se viene Furia, amigos.
Ahí va a sacar Forgi.
Forgi lo veo muy bien en el saque también, ¿eh?
Sí.
Muy esquinado.
Recién en el chat andaban diciendo que sabía de dar saques.
No,
No sé a qué
bueno.
se refieren.
Nada, me parece muchísimo.
Bien. Digo, no. Mal.
Digo,
Debo ser imparcial.
Claro. Ahí saca Forgi. Tira para la de Mauri.
Quiere
mandarla, le saca el
La
polo.
mandó a Buenos Aires.
La mandó a Buenos Aires. Vuelve. Sí, para darle.
La tiré a la concha de su
Darle
madre.
más fácil no darle que darle. Ahí va para el lado de Martín. La deja pasar. La tira de globito. Ahí está Mauri. Parece que le iba a dar fuerte. Le dio tranquilo. Llega correctamente Martín. Ahí la va a agarrar Forgi. Queda larga la pelota.
Oh, qué boludo.
Perdón si tú me metes por...
Martín que no llega.
Dale, tranquilo.
Nada, igual acá ya estábamos al mental roto.
Dale.
Me quiero que con esta acá la comida es cara.
Sí, es terrible.
Ni en buenos...
Buenísima de Forgi.
Es que acá ya estaba tan vena que le pegaba a cualquier lado.
Con canje Marcelo.
Y acá entró un bombazo. Acá como si jugara al pádel, tío, Acá como si jugara al pádel profesional, tío,
Buenísima de Forgi. No, pero ojalá.
Con canje Marcelo.
Estaría bien.
Y esta fue buena, Fue arriesgada igual, fue arriesgada.
Buenísima de Forgi. Me encantan los remates de Forgi. Me vuelven loco. La tengo que admitir. Lo reconozco.
De momento el jugador del partido Forgi.
Sí.
Sí, me perdí, mamá.
Está asegurando muchos puntos en ese remate.
No me sirve.
Muy bien pulido.
Criminal. Mirá, ahí va de vuelta. Voy y le dice. Ay, no llega.
Acá ya estaba esperando que claro, porque estaba perdido el partido. Pero igual me toqué. No le pegué bien porque lo veo y Marto. Yo me le crucé a Marto.
Asegurando muchos puntos en ese remate.
Yo me le crucé a Marto y no le. O sea, cuando.
Mirá, ahí va de vuelta.
Y acá me cagué, boludo. Si no podía ir o más. Es que ya era el último punto, entonces quise hacer locura. Bueno, amigos, se viene. Furia. A ver si mantiene el slot. Si mantiene la vida en este evento.
the right lines. Gentlemen, I don't know if you want to play a little game right now, but I would love to see everybody's best Elige.
Okay.
I'll go first. That's my Elige.
Okay, I've got it. Hang on.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not bad. Alex has
Se viene, se viene. Si pierde se va, sí. Si pierde se va a su casita.
What are you thinking, Maniac? That's how you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, what the hell's the guy next to me?
Because if I'm a liege in this moment, I'm like, this shit stinks, man.
Whoa.
Almost. Damn.
It was great.
It was a good attempt. Stinks. That's what's going on with the Elysian Company. Anyway,
Furious
with
Sashi.
that, yeah, Furious Sashi. So
Sashi.
What grade would you put him at?
I don't know. Around here, I think we can only get, what is it?
A5?
What, isn't it A9 around here? Yeah. So
Hola, what? Gracias, papá.
is if Furia go to Nuke, they might have some problems. I don't think you want to play Danes on Nuke, but they played Nuke earlier today and they beat FlyQuest, but they're not Danes. So I'm going to say Sashi win if we go to Nuke.
Yeah.
Do you have information we don't? ChatGPT, is that what's
No,
happening?
but I just know how Furia are going to work. They're going to go, man, we were close against Na'Vi and we won earlier, and then they're going to play it again.
Yeah, I think I'm just excited to see.
It's not the worst of strategies when they have a new player.
That's true.
They already played it twice in the tournament. Yuri had a.
Se viene, se viene, se viene, se viene.
What was the other bit I planned for this? I had another bit
You were
planned.
going to talk about.
Wait, it's not a bit anymore.
You told it. You said it's a bit.
Anyway, gentlemen, before we go, when will the buzz around pool day end?
Se viene, se viene. ¿Qué le pasaba? Se viene Furia contra Sashi. ¿Cómo está la muchachada a esta hora?
I understand people are nostalgic for it. It's a new map after several months, and it's been fun design. Personally, I really dislike whenever, say, Baggage is voted for. You think you're going to have a good game on it, and the next is called a vote back to pool day. When will the shiny new toy syndrome for this map end?
Is that a Reddit thread?
Can our talent manager please bring some waters to Chad? I think he might be dehydrated at this point.
I was going to say, that's Amore. And I'm not just talking about Chad's shirt either. That's exactly what's happening there.
Actually,
it was a stretch. I was working on something there. I don't have a problem with
my lines are fine,
El que pierde se vuelve a su casita. Ya se volvió mi BR, que no le gana a nadie mi BR. Mi BR completamente en la mierda. Gentlemen.
I had like a.
Yeah, no, dark temptation. It's not dark. Yeah, it is dark chocolate scent. Okay.
Che, mándame el mapa, man. Estamos relax ya,
Yeah, so Sashi or Fury, who do you guys have on the other side?
I'm going with the Danes.
Yeah, I was about to say it. That's not.
You can do it. It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Fury.
Okay, we'll leave that house divided, and whatever house that you guys find yourselves in, make sure Chad gets some water. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. And back to us.
Crazy.
Those guys have lost the plot. I don't know.
And that's why we're never going to do that again.
Well, I'm sure we might.
That's exactly what Chad wants. We need to put him on camera as much as possible. Do this for every segment that we have.
Yeah, really get our money's worth out of him. I don't think that's how that works. What would work right now in this?
Y lo que tiene mi BR es que encima suele hacer. ¿Para qué evento fue? Estuvo hace poco en Europa campeando, vino acá y no le ganó a nadie, siguió perdiendo. Entonces como que es raro, boludo. Los Ivo BR en general están medio archados todos hoy en día. Imperial el que más zafa o el que más ha hecho. Después Furia siempre está ahí, que no le gana a nadie, mi BR peor. O sea, tuvieron un muy buen Mayor igual. Eso sorprendió el Mayor que tuvieron más que nada Pain e Imperial. Después los cagó un poco Pain, por ejemplo, lo de los loquitos que no lo liberó Sharks. Y bueno, Imperial también se fue quedando un poco. Pero bueno, igual mantuvo Imperial. Metió Pro League, que eso estuvo siempre ahí. Clasificó estos torneos. Pero Furia. Pena Furia. Tuve que hacer la velada. Y en la velada anduve mucho por los vestuarios, boludo. Estuvimos después ahí donde estaban el VIP abajo, pero no mucho tampoco.
I think we can do it, yeah, definitely.
I'm going to ask you to put your analyst hat on for a second. The Skulls move to Furia, did that make sense for you? Is that something that you feel like, could work for the team?
Yeah, I think it definitely could work. I think Skulls is a great player, and I think it's also good for him to come back to Brazilian team. So it's difficult to be an international, talk English and all these different aspects, but I think the Brazilians is like also with if you are 5 Danes together, it's you just feel
Ahora que le faltó la velada en lo que es deportivo para los peleadores, que los vestuarios estaban todos juntos, boludo. Eso es una pija un poco porque... Nada, amigo, te preparaste 4 meses... Igual es lo mínimo, ¿no? Pero... 1 horita antes de pelear tenés que estar tranca, la tuya, concentrando. Los vestuarios estaban todos juntos.
we win against the great teams, and so we are pretty confident.
Well, thank you so much for your words, and best of luck against Furia.
Thank you.
So 5 Danes on one team, but what like 5...
Aparte no es que solamente están los peleadores, están la familia, los amigos, los streamers, pasan todos, o sea, para...
That's true. We never have to eco. I guess that's one way. But I would probably have to do like a casting call to try and get fights.
Bueno.
I can play. Recon can join. What do we do after that? Where do I go from there?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
We have to. We're gonna have to. Let me circle back to you in a year.
Cherijo estaba con fiebre ayer, ¿no? ¿Ya arranca las excusas de Furia?
Something that we just sort of spoke about, which were maps, right? So, talk a little about Nuke. You wanted that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand Furia, right? Because it's that and Inferno, their 2 most played maps, really, in a way. And I think when you play the 2 times in the tournament with Skulls, that's what you're most comfortable with to keep going. Now, on the other side of things, we heard that from Sashi that it's their best map. So probably would have liked to avoid that in a best-of-1, but then again, Furia was willing to play Inferno against G2 in a best-of-1, so...
De ahí no pasa Furia y yo creo que sí, o sea, esperemos que sí. Sashi.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you're Furia, you're just allowed a map...
Es un mapita solo, mo uno.
Sashi are capable of punching above their weight. That's just a fact. They take down Mouse. They say they're super confident at it.
Pero no existe, ¿cómo no existe?
So I don't really know. I don't like that choice for Furia. I would have hoped that they felt ready on different maps just to take Sashi out of the comfort zone, and we're gonna have to see if it ends up biting them in the butt. Because prior to the veto, I had Furia clearly ahead. Now I just have them slightly ahead.
Yeah, this is also where
¿En qué sentido, Flash? Argumentaban.
Where you see them right now, because talking about them versus Sashi, why would they care?
Nuke.
What's their best map and how good they are on Nuke. If it's good for Furia, you should be thinking, hey, let's just make sure we're comfortable and we'll take care of these guys. But whether their level is that high that they can afford themselves the luxury to let their opponent's best